It's no good leaving it on the surface, Stanley. It's got to penetrate deep into the muscle. Or in your case, fat.
Listen who's talking.
Granted, I'm a pound or two overweight, but you're what's known as grossly obese. You put another half stone on, we'll have to wheel you around on a trolley.
Oh, get on with it, will you?
Oh, my neck, I could smell that stuff halfway down the street.
Oh, it's very powerful, Hilda. Horse liniment.
You never told me it was horse liniment.
Don't knock it, Stanley. Just think what it does for them national runners. How do you think they get over them sticks? A bit of this in the right place, and they're 5 foot clear at Beaches Brook.
I'm not a flaming horse.
No, you certainly don't work like one, and that's a fact.
Hello, is the path of marital bliss not running too smoothly at the moment, Stanley?
You couldn't, Coco.
Do you want your back rubbing, Hilda?
No, thank you.
Go on, I'll make you glow like a 100-watt bulb.
Look, I don't get back trouble, me. I daren't. I spend too much of my time fetching and carrying. How do you get that, then? Running away from work?
I picked me ladder up. I twisted, you know.
Oh, I know. You've been twisting all your life. It's not your flaming back, it's me. And look, get away from the table. I don't want that smell all over me dinner.
Ooh. I reckon you're just about done, Stan. Ooh. Do you know, I could earn me living at this physiotherapy, knocking a football team into shape. Like, that Dick Cares.
They're women.
Yeah. What about a brass plate, Hilda, eh? Edward Yates, PD, Doctor of Physiotherapy.
Yeah, we could do with the brass plate. Might stop the house falling down.
Hey, that's a good idea, you know. You know that one of the doctors?
Well, not as well as you.
No, well, you could have one, love, if you wanted. I mean, I'm self-employed, you know. Stanley Ogden,
WC.
Eh? She means window cleaner, Stan.
You speak for yourself.
OK, I'll tell him. Thank you. Bye-bye. Another redskin bit the dust.
Don't shoot, I'm on your side.
Oh, sorry. Somebody must have oiled them hinges.
Unusual, that, in a builder's yard.
Yeah, ain't it? Can I help you?
I doubt it. It's Fairclough I want, and he's not the type to go hiding in corners. I take it he isn't around.
No, I'm afraid he's not. I'm not expecting him back till late afternoon.
Well, Luke, I'll be passing away this way again about 5:30 to 5:45. Ask him if he can hang on for me, will you? Conran, Jim Conran.
Oh, yes, I'll tell him. And hello. We've spoken on the phone once or twice.
I dare say we have. I shouldn't be asking pretty girls like you to tell tales out of school, but what's this I hear about Fairclough leaving the council? Going to happen, is it?
Well, I think that's for Mr. Fairclough to answer, really. I mean, I think I know the answer, but I just don't know which way he's going to jump.
I'll see him later on.
OK, I'll tell him. Ciao.
Ciao.
Oh, Mr. Conran.
I'll do that.
What were Conran doing here?
He wanted Len.
About the job?
Well, he didn't say.
Oh, come on, let's have it.
Look, Ray, I know how you feel, but shall we just see what happens? He wanted Len.
And is that all?
Well, he asked about Len and the council, but I said I wasn't sure.
You see, that's just what I'm saying. And then when he finds out, bingo. It was a great contract if we could have landed it.
Come here, let's have a look at you. How did you manage to do that?
Oh, it was very easy. Bet's got her stuff dangling down all over the bathroom. She's got her stockings hanging down over the mirror. I'd only see one strip of my face. That was the bit I didn't cut.
I've told her about it.
We've told her about umpteen things. She still goes her own sweet way. When is she leaving?
When you get round to telling her, love.
I thought you were going to tell her.
Do you know, I've decided it's your job.
Well, it'll come better from your love. I mean, she is your friend, you know.
Yes, I know, but you are the boss, the man of the house. It is your duty when all's said and done.
Well, how do I do it?
Well, I don't know. I mean, just say... Oh, I know it isn't easy. Being a friend of ours doesn't help.
We're friends like her.
No.
Exactly, Mrs. Walker. One big happy family. I couldn't have put it better myself.
Yeah. I must say you've been extremely fortunate. There can't be many newly married couples who are happy to keep a lodger.
Well, you do make me sound a bit like a smooth-haired fox terrier, Mrs. Walker.
Not my intention.
No. And what you say is very, very true, which just goes to show how lucky I am.
Morning, Councillor. Sorry.
Give us a quick pint back, will you?
Certainly, love.
You really must not twist the knife.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Walker. I couldn't resist it.
Well, you really must try. It's a rather unattractive side of your character.
Right, Mrs. Walker.
Do you want a pie, Len? They're going fast.
No, thanks, love. I haven't got time to eat. It's one of those days.
Perhaps you're not treating her right, Stan. I mean, get that grey matter of yours working. If your missus is acting up a bit, what you give her?
Well, not a good hiding. I wouldn't lay a finger on Hilda.
No, not a good hiding. Of course you wouldn't lay a finger on her. She'd probably murder you. Come on, think. If your missus is under the weather a bit, right? What you give her? Oh, for Pete's sake. Before you say a flaming aspirin, a Prezi. You give her a Prezi.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Marvellous, innit? There's you, knows nothing. Here's me with all the answers and no one to ask the flaming question.
If you're looking for a wife, take mine, and good riddance.
Here, here's the Weatherfield Oracle. What's wrong with Hilda?
You mean you don't know?
Never mind me. He doesn't know.
Well, he wouldn't, would he? That's the trouble. There comes a time in every woman's life, Stanley, when she sits down to count her blessings, and she finds she hasn't got none. She looks round her and she wonders if she's killed a policeman. She takes a good gander at, say you, and she thinks, all right, he's not Omar Sharif. I wouldn't mind if he were Yogi Bear and I got a laugh now and then. Dissatisfaction sets in, Stanley.
We all get dissatisfied.
Absolutely true. It must happen to you when she only gives you £3 of spuds with your dinner.
But not every minute of that flaming day.
She may be weary. Women do get weary. Love is their all happiness. So if she's weary, try a little tenderness, Stanley.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Oh, hi.
Aye.
I was...
Look, Alf, if I'd have been in your shoes, I'd have done exactly the same thing. Keep smiling.
Hello.
Hello.
Is Mavis about?
She's upstairs.
Oh, good.
That makes two of us.
Could I see some birthday cards?
Certainly. There we are, love. Prices aren't back in indelible ink. I'm joking.
Well, it wouldn't have surprised me. Nothing does these days. Half the things I buy are completely burglar-proof. You can't get lids off. You can't get packets open. Plastic wrappings are getting stronger by the hour.
You're dead right. Heaven help us when we're old and feeble. It's bad enough being young and feeble. Of course, I blame it on men.
I think you're quite right.
Oh, yeah? Blame men for what?
You name it, we'll blame you.
Oh, dear. Dare I ask if you'll accept me as a customer?
Well, it depends. If you're after broken biscuits again, the answer's no.
A refill?
Ah, lucky for you.
No, Mavis?
No.
Oh.
You're supposed to say, oh, good. She did.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't want to embarrass her. I mean, there's cards for her. It's her birthday tomorrow.
Oh, so that's it.
That's what?
Why she's been going round like a soggy blanket. How old is she?
Oh, I don't know exactly. 37, 38, I should think.
Oh, well. Comes to us all. In another 10 years, I'll be going through it myself. One word from you and I'll scrape this right across you. She'll be back in a minute.
All right, I'll tell her.
Well, it would sound better coming from you.
Yeah, you know what makes it so awkward, though, don't you? It's her having to shell out so much to get somewhere else to live. I mean, she won't fall into a place as cheap as this again.
She won't.
So if I was to say to her, I'd sort of help her out. You know, make her a bit of a loan, just till she gets settled.
Hey, don't go mad. We don't want to jump out at frying pan into fire.
Don't worry, I won't.
Only me.
Ooh, cup of tea, smashing.
Oh, Bet, listen, I've been thinking. You know, it's going to cost you a heck of a lot to set yourself up in another flat.
Alf, you're the salt of the earth. I've just been telling them down there how great it is living with you and Renee. You wouldn't credit it. They think you don't want me. And here you are, practically ordering me to stay. Wait till I tell them. Pour us a cup of tea and give us a kiss, Chuck.
How did you get on?
How do you think?
Doesn't look like you did so bad. Get that lipstick off your face.
Go easy.
Oh, it's a long trek from Staley Bridge.
Well, you better get your strength up. Jimmy Conran's coming round to see you.
What do you want?
What do you think? He's heard the news. What are we going to do?
What do you mean? What are we going to do?
I mean for work. When it gets round the district that you've been booted off the council, it's not going to do his reputation much good, is it?
Listen, Sonny, being booted off every council in the world doesn't alter what they can do.
Oh, you're a flaming hypocrite, you
Ray.
are. You go on the council, it's going to do wonders for us. All the folk you'll meet, all the influence. And now you're getting the elbow, it doesn't mean a thing. Well, you might think you can have it both ways, mate, but I'll tell you this for now. I'm looking round for something else. Give us a packet of king size.
Give us a pleasant word.
I've run out, especially for your family.
Oh, isn't it happy day? Hey up, beer stand. Come on, make us laugh.
Have you a box of chocolates?
Sorry about that. How big?
Oh, about a pound, you know. It's a prezi.
Right. There we are. £1.40.
You what?
I said it was funny. What have you got in mind?
Well, I thought about 40p, you know.
Oh, one of them presents. What can you have for 40p, Mavis? The whole world, I should think. It's about all it's worth. Don't mind her. She'll just come upon fools. I know. I can let you have £1/2 of misshapes. Your price to the penny.
All right. You haven't got a bucksheet box, have you?
No, they don't bring them back, Stan. And anyway, they wouldn't fit. That wrong shape, hence the name.
Oh, yeah. Ta.
Ta-ra.
Ta-ra.
Hey, some woman's going to be happy. A whole £1/2 of misshapes all to herself. Where will it all end? Oh, I wish you'd stop singing.
Oh, hello, Stan.
Get us stuff to get those.
Stanley, you're learning. Now we need a note.
Hey? Oh.
Let's make it mysterious, you know. Let's see. Guess who? How's that then? How's that for timing? Come. You're probably wondering how them got there, Hilda. Well, I'll tell you. There was this fella riding a motorbike down the overhead telephone wires to Rosamond Street, right? He got to the Rovers, onto the roof, scorches across the chimneys, dives into a shark-infested basin of water and puts them on the table. We asked him to stop, but he wouldn't, would he, Stan?
No.
Do you know what we've done, Stanley? We have touched a raw nerve.
Oh, you're back.
Ah, yes, Jim. Come in here. Yeah, come in. Oh, what can I do you for? Oh, it's all right. I've got no secrets from her. From her husband, maybe, but not her.
She's discreet enough. I'll vouch for that. I'm hearing rumours that folk tell me aren't rumours about you blotting your copybook again.
Makes the world go round.
That right about you leaving the council very shortly?
It's a nice way of putting it.
Definite, is it?
Yeah, it's definite.
And not before time.
Why, didn't you like me as a councillor?
Now to do with it. I didn't like you as a contractor when you were a councillor. As far as I'm concerned, the two don't mix. And I liked you as a working man.
That's what I'm down to now.
I don't think you realise it, but a lot of fellas like me think twice before they deal with you lot.
What lot?
Oh, all right, your ex-lot. The council. There's always some smart aleck only too ready to smell a whiff of corruption where there isn't any. And that's not the only reason. You spend too much time wasting my money at your shindigs instead of saving it for me on the job.
Is that all you came to tell me?
No. I asked you to tender for the conversion work at the hotel, right?
Right.
I didn't ask you to tender for the new annex. And that's 20 rooms, modern plumbing, the lot.
It's true, you didn't.
Well, I'm asking you now. Pick up the plans as soon as you like. Give me a fair price, and I reckon you'll get it. It'll mean taking some labour on, but I'm happy at the thought of you being there supervising instead of swanning off on your council jaunts. All right.
See you tomorrow.
Make it early. If it's a good day, I'm off Raydock Park. This court case, no chance of you going down for 6 months, is there?
Sure hope, will you?
Connor.
Making out of this, aren't we, lad?
Well. Tell him.
I think you'd better sit down.
Look, you know what they say? If you don't want the goods, don't maul them.
I'm just avoiding the marzipan, Hilda. I can't be doing with marzipan.
That's something else they say. Beggars can't be choosers.
You're having a go at me, aren't you, Hilda? No, I'll just have this one. There's no like treating yourself once in a while, is there?
Oh, I didn't buy these. A so-called sweetener from my loving husband.
Buy out, misshaped. How romantic can you get? Yeah. You want to watch him, though, Hilda? When a fella starts buying chocolates for his wife, it's even money he's buying diamonds for his lady friend. Come in, Chuck.
2, please.
Hey, you, come here.
Hello, Chuck. What are you drinking?
I'm not drinking, I'm eating chocolates. And they're turning to worms and gallstones in my mouth.
You are?
Ah, well, you wouldn't know, would you, seeing as it's biblical? I suppose you've forgotten your 10 Commandments and all. Who is it you're coveting this time? Back to 19 Inkerman, or are you trying it on somewhere else?
I'm not coveting anybody. I never touched nobody.
Look, Stanley, I'm not saying you're doing out. I'm just saying you're thinking about it. And that's enough to give you a dose of the conscience, isn't it? Just look at you. Written all over you. On your road. Your tea will be on the table in 10 minutes. In 11 minutes, it'll be in dustbin. By the heck. There's me thinking, ooh, you fat lump.
Been having a friendly chat, Stanley?
Have you been talking to her?
I have had that pleasure.
I might have known it'd be you put it into her head I was going with other women.
Stanley, would I do a thing like that? Come here. It's not that she doesn't trust you. She just wants you to take stock of yourself. It's a bit embarrassing, this, but, well, with Hilda being you're not your best friend exactly. Personal hygiene. Here, be my guest.
There, you devil.
I'm only trying to help, Stanley.
Well, I certainly don't like seeing him miserable about it. I mean, it's so silly, isn't it?
Just one of them daft situations, love.
I was just stuck with it. And it's not easy, you know, being friends and landlords, to sort of broach the subject.
Telling her it was rather she left.
Yes, I can see that. Would you like me to have a word with her?
How do you mean, love?
Well, could I convey to her tactfully that it'd be better for everybody if she found other accommodation?
Would you?
Honest?
Well, I'll certainly do my best.
Look, I can't eat with you looking like that.
How'd you expect me to look?
I've never been near another woman. I've donkey's years. I've thought about them, mind you. Comparing them to you, like. And they're all wanting, I'll tell you. I mean, they do come home, don't they? Not like some blokes, you know. Come on. Give us a kiss. Come on.
You charm the birds out the trees, you.
I'll come to the nest, then.
Hey, Stan. You know, you shouldn't get me thinking things like this, Chuck. I mean, it's... Where have you been to smell like this?
Like what?
What do you think?
How did you do it?
Copied it off that one. Not just a pretty face, you know. And I thought if we put £1 in each for some flowers and then another note like that saying, "Oh, my love, Derek."
You must be joking.
Oh, come on, Ken, it's the least we can do.
Correction. It's the most you can do. You could blight a life with a trick like that.
Could I?
You know your trouble, don't you? You read too many of these novelettes at yourself.
I'm I'm a romantic.
No, you're a nut.
That's what I mean. I'm a romantic nut.
Where is she now?
Last seen, heading for the Rovers.
Right. Well, go and buy her a drink, because it's friendly conversation that she wants, not dumb tricks like this.
I think I'll make an announcement about poor Mr. Pomfret. I'm sure people will contribute if they hear about his widow's predicament.
Now, Mrs. Walker.
No, a little later. I'll tell you.
Hello, love. What can I get for you?
Well, I don't really want a drink. I was just passing and thought I'd have a word.
Oh, that's nice.
I know how difficult it must be for you living at the shop now that Reenie and Alf are back.
Oh, that.
Yes, and I was thinking, I do get to hear of places now and again with working at the hospital, so if there's anything I can do to help.
You've not been talking to Alf and Reenie by any chance, have you?
Oh, no.
No. Well, strictly between you and me, they've never mentioned me leaving. And you know what I think? I think they need the money.
Oh, perhaps I will have an orange juice.
I might have known. Skulking behind a bottle of whiskey. I know you know. It's your birthday tomorrow. So what? Happens to us all. You don't have to go in a decline just because you got a birthday coming up, you know.
But you don't understand.
Well, no, I don't.
I'm 40 tomorrow.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mavis. Happy birthday to you.
Have we got page 17?
Yeah, why?
Can I swap you? I'm continued on page 17.
No sooner said than done. It's peaceful here, isn't it?
All right, then.
I say, it's very peaceful. Quiet here.
Yeah. It's nice being by to ourselves, isn't it?
I was just thinking that. Oh, hello, Hazel. Come on. Oh,
Sorry.
Oh, heck, I think we've got it for life.
So where is she then?
Who?
Mavis of all the sorrows.
Are you asking as a boss or a grieving friend?
Well, it's not every day a bird announces to an entire pub that she's 40 tomorrow.
You think that's really funny, don't you?
Yeah, I do, don't you?
I'm making a supreme effort to keep my face straight. Oh, you decided to join us?
Yeah, I'm sorry I'm late. I'm afraid I didn't sleep very well last night, and then just before dawn I must have dropped off.
It's old age creeping up.
Anyway, happy birthday, love.
Thanks, and thanks for your card.
I picked that one to cheer you up, but from where I'm standing, I'd say I'd laboured in vain.
I don't know what you mean.
Oh, come on, Mavis. You're only 40. Life begins at 40, so they tell me.
Let's put it this way, love. You're that much nearer your pension.
Please, don't go on about it.
Now see what you've done.
On it.
Has been for hours. Not that you've noticed, lying there with your gob up like an extinct volcano or something.
I never slept a wink.
Snoring like a pig.
All my back's killing me.
Yeah, comes a line on it too much, does that, you know. Bound to wear it out.
Where's my breakfast?
There's bread in the bin, water in the kettle, and matches by the gas stove.
Are they going to cook something?
I might have done half an hour since.
I could murder bacon and a couple of runny eggs.
Yeah, well, it's your unlucky day then, isn't it? Because I've got a job to go to.
Don't be like that, Elder.
What do you expect?
Look, how many times I had to tell you I wasn't with any other woman. I got that scent from Bet Lynch.
Yeah, well, she's not particular who she goes with neither, is she? I mean, if she go with the likes of you, she'd go with anybody.
If I'm going to do a day's work, I want something on my stomach.
You've got something on your stomach, Stanley. About 2 stone of unwanted flesh. Now, if you want to put some more on it, you better get your fancy woman round here to cook it for you, because I'm off.
Molly? That's what I like to hear. The merry badinage of a couple of lovebirds over the breakfast table.
Can't you flaming well knock?
I did knock. You just didn't hear me because of your merry badinage. Good word, that, isn't it? Badinage. Must look it up sometime, find out what it means. Probably some sort of sticky tag.
Buy her a present, he says. That'll put things right, he says. It's made 100% worse.
She's still taking lumps out of you, Stan.
She thinks I'm playing away.
Oh, it's ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, one look at you, you know you'd never play away.
I've had more women than you've had on dinners.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I saw the film. What was it now? Adventures of an Aging Window Cleaner.
Well, what do you want, apart from a thump?
Well, a toasted butty and a cup of tea wouldn't go amiss.
The cabin's down the road. This is not a transport caff.
You're not in a very good humour this morning, are you, Stanley?
Why should I be? I don't mind being hung for a thing I've done. I don't like it when I'm not guilty.
I was with you, wasn't I? When Bet Lynch did you with the scent.
You weren't.
No, don't split hairs. Look, I'm what's known as a material witness, aren't I?
You mean you could tell her?
I could, yeah.
Ah. And you're my mate, aren't you?
Exactly. Now, what was it you were saying about the toasted butty and a cup of tea?
Hi, Private Wackham, yeah?
Yep.
Oh, good. How's the birthday girl?
Don't ask.
Oh, dear. Bad as that, is it?
She's as about as full of fun as that couple in that there opera. You know, just after they've been buried alive and they decide to have a sing-song about it.
Aida.
Oh, that's what it's called, is it? I knew it was somewhat foreign.
Oh, I didn't know that opera was quite your thing.
Me? I was in the Barber of Seville.
You were?
Yeah, I were a lather boy.
Oh.
I got that from a comic in a club I were working once. He didn't get much of a laugh with it either. Mr. Barlow were just asking about you, and I said if you didn't cheer up, we'd have to take you to that placatrist.
Happy birthday.
Oh, thanks. And thanks for your card.
Did you get many?
No, not many. Got one from Rita and one from Emily and Derek.
Derek? Well, you close cat. You never told me you got one from Derek.
Well, you never asked. Look, I came to say I'm making a cup of tea. Do you want one?
Well, I won't say no.
You didn't go and send her one after all.
Did I, eh? Now, after what you said.
Well, if you didn't send her then, who did?
Well, I reckon if it got Derek's signature on bottom, Derek must have sent it.
Lucky for you then, wasn't it?
Me?
Yeah, that I talked you out of it.
Yeah, I suppose it is.
See ya.
Yeah. I'm sure I can't tempt you to a cup. There's plenty in pot.
No, thanks. I only dropped in, really, to see if there's been any further developments with your little cuckoo in the nest, so to speak.
I'm afraid there hasn't.
Apart from me not being able to get in the bathroom, on account of Bet being up there, tarting herself up.
Well, my trying to broach the subject with her yesterday wasn't very successful, I'm afraid. She seems to be absolutely convinced that you want her to stop.
I know she does.
Oh, it's very difficult.
I'm sure it must be, but at the same time, I do think the time's come when you're going to have to tell her straight.
Bathroom's free whenever you are, Alf, love.
Thanks.
Meeting of the local coven, is it?
I just popped in for a moment.
Hey, isn't that one of the beauties of living round here, though? The way you can just do that and know you'll be made welcome.
Yes, I suppose it is.
Do you know, I've never been as happy in my life as I've been since I came to live round here. And then there's you two. You couldn't meet nicer, friendlier people anywhere. I've embarrassed you now, haven't I, lovies? Well, you mustn't be embarrassed. I'm like that, very outgoing. If I feel something, well, I just say it. You've shaved, have you, Alf?
I got shaved in the kitchen.
I thought you must have. If there's one thing that turns me right on, it's that.
What?
The smell of fresh shaving soap on a big bonny fella.
Anyway, I better go get finished off upstairs. I'll leave you to it.
Yes, I must fly. I'll see you later.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
New, is it? What? You dressed?
Oh, yeah, I got it to go on honeymoon with.
It suits you, kid.
Thanks. Bet.
I've just remembered. There's something I wanted to set Emily Bishop. I might just catch her. I'll see you later, love.
Well, it's most kind of you. Thank
Emily?
you very much. Yes. No, goodbye.
It's just something I wanted to mention about our little chat yesterday.
Oh, yes.
I hope you weren't offended.
Offended?
Well, after you'd gone, I started turning things over in my mind. And I suddenly thought, was Emily trying to tell me something? Hinting like.
Oh, yes.
And then it struck me. There she is, living in that house, on her own now. And there's plenty of room. And it's the sort of gesture she would make, being the sort of person that she is like.
Well,
and then I thought, no. It's very kind of you, Emily, but I can't see it, can you? You and me under the same roof. You with your little ways and me with my little ways.
Quite.
But so long as you're not offended.
Not at all.
Oh, good. I'll see you some more, love. Don't look now, Hilda, but you've got a dirty big hole in your tights.
Why, heck. I think I must have holes in my head skivvying like this for that fella.
Now, Hilda, you mustn't talk like that about the world's most eligible married man.
Morning, Mrs. O.
What do you want?
Just a word.
What about?
About your ever-loving husband.
I've nothing to say about him.
You're doing him a big injustice, you know.
That what he sent you to tell me?
You're putting that poor lad through the eye of a needle, and for no good reason. He's telling you the truth. Look, it was Bet Lynch that dosed him with that scent. For a joke, you know. I was right here when it happened, right here at this bar. You don't believe me, do you?
Oh, I believe you were at the bar, yeah. Because let's face it, you're never anywhere else. Except when you're down the dole collecting us taxpayers' good money. But as for the rest, now, why should I believe you? You're a bigger liar as he is.
You've got a very suspicious nature, you have, Hilda.
No. No, I'm just permanently embittered by years of experience with that one.
You're early, even for you.
You know what you are, don't you? You're a home wrecker, that's what you are.
Which particular home am I wrecking at present?
Stan and Hilda's. She's got it stuck in her head that Stan has got some fancy piece tucked away somewhere.
Well, if it does now, else it'll bring a bit of excitement into their lives, won't it?
What are you doing in here? We're not open for hours yet.
Oh, we're just having a quick word with Mrs. Ogden, Mrs. Walker.
Well, have it later on. She's half an hour behind as it is.
Sorry, Mrs. Walker.
Cup of coffee on the table for you, Bet.
Right, Mrs. Walker.
Hey, I want a word with you, madam.
Oh, yes, Hilda, love.
Now, just what were you up to with my husband last night?
What exactly did he say we got up to?
Well, he reckons you squirted some of your cheap rotten scent on him.
He said that, did he? They'll say out, won't they, fellas? They're a bit like rats that way when they're cornered.
Are you saying you didn't squirt scent on him?
Hilda, I am a friend of Stan's. If it's going to help him to say that I squirted scent on him, then I squirted scent on him.
If you ask me, there's a lot more to this than meets the eye.
There usually is, Hilda. And you know what they say? It's always the poor wife that's the last to find out.
Haven't you done a costing on that Jim Conran job yet?
I've made a rough estimate of the materials we're going to need, yeah.
Let's have a look at it then.
Hiya.
We're not going to get long-term credit for that little lot, are we?
No, so you're going to have to go round and see our friendly neighbourhood bank manager, aren't you?
Unless you go and see him.
You're the one with the contacts, the charisma.
You noticed. All right, I'll go and see him this afternoon. Make an appointment for me. Give him a buzz, will you?
Yeah.
See you in jail.
You're so surprised.
Ha, ha, ha.
Ken, can I ask you something?
Of course, Mrs. Walker.
On the strict understanding that it will remain strictly entre nous, of course.
Of course.
Now, this seat on the council, the one that Len will be vacating.
Oh, yes.
Well, there's this friend of mine, you see.
Yes.
Well, of course, she's not quite as young as she used to be.
Which of us is?
Quite. But she's always taken a very active interest in civic affairs. And she has always been passionately interested in politics. In fact, it has been suggested that she has quite a lot in common with Margaret Thatcher, actually. Anyway, to cut a long story short, she has been toying with the idea that she might enter the list herself. Now, what do you think?
Well, I mean, it's not easy to say, really, Mrs. Walker. I mean, not knowing the identity of your friend. But, well, I wouldn't have thought it was a good idea, actually.
You wouldn't?
No. Now, according to Alf Roberts, it's going to be a very strenuous campaign with no holds barred. And then, of course, being an independent doesn't mean that you are entirely independent. There has to be some sort of organisation behind you. And then, of course, if she isn't, as you say, quite as young as she was.
No, I'm sure you're right. But I do understand how she feels. I mean, when one reads the newspapers, one feels there are so many things one could do if one only had one's hands on the rein of power.
Like bringing back hanging, say, and public floggings and putting people on the stocks, you know. Deporting the odd Aussie sheep stealer back to Australia. I'll tell you what, though. She's magic, isn't she?
Magic. Well?
Well?
Come on, let's get it over with.
Hello, lovies.
Hello, love. Have you got a minute? Thanks.
10 minutes for you, Alf. And before you say another word, I've got something to tell you. I've been hoping you'd come in.
Oh, yeah?
About me flat.
What about it?
Well, I don't want you to be hurt or anything, because I really am happy living with you. Only, I've heard about this other flat, you see, and I'm going to see it tonight. You're not hurt, are you?
No, of course not. I miss you. You know that. Won't we, Alf?
Hey? Oh, yeah, of course we will.
I'm sorry to see you go, naturally.
Naturally.
But it is your happiness we're bothered about, love. Aren't we, Alf?
Of course we are.
Oh, aren't you sweet? What a sweet couple. I'm going to buy you both a drink for being so nice and understanding about it.
Nay, I'll get...
No, Alf, I insist. A pint of bitter and a gin and orange, right?
Well, thank you.
Now, what was it you wanted to see me about?
What did we want to hear about, Alf?
Do you know, it's gone clean out of my mind. It's funny, isn't it? Clean out!
It happens like that sometimes, doesn't it?
Don't it?
Hi. You been to the bank?
Yeah, just.
Oh, so it's okay for me to go ahead and order the materials, right?
Well, no, I'd leave it till tomorrow if I were you.
Tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh, don't say he's refused to lend us the dosh.
Well, no, he's going to give us a ring.
A ring?
Will you stop repeating everything I say? You sound like a flipping parrot.
All right, I'll put it another way. How come he's going to have to ring us back? He's never had to do that before.
It's a lot of money, isn't it?
Can he give you a bit of a rough time, Len?
So he's checking us out, right, before he puts his money where his mouth is.
Well, that's his job. Do you blame him?
It wasn't him. I was thinking of blaming, actually.
Look, Ray!
Look, come on. We're all too old, too tired, and certainly too flaming poor to start fighting among ourselves.
All that he's bothered about is whether the money is going to be safe with us. That's all he's interested in.
So what's the angle?
He's checking us out. We're not the only ones.
Who else?
Jim Conran.
Conran?
Yeah, well, he's got more at stake in this than we have. If he goes bust, we go bust, and that leaves the bank manager with his shirt lap hanging out.
So when's he going to ring us?
Sometime today.
Mavis?
Yeah?
Come here a minute, it's your birthday. These have just come for you.
Oh, they're lovely. Oh, how are they from?
How would I know? Well, who are they from?
From Derek.
No. What's he say?
What's personal?
Well, if you've gone to all this bother, it can't be goodbye forever. Go on.
Well, he just wishes me happy birthday, that's all.
Aren't you chuffed?
Why should I be? After the way he treated me, I mean, look, a fool, didn't he? A right fool.
Well, he's obviously regretting it. He wants to kiss and make up.
Yes, well, it's too late for that, isn't it?
I brought you some duffs.
Who's graved your neck ram off? I bet it was nobody as mattered.
Have you talked to Eddie?
Yeah.
Has he told you the truth?
He wouldn't know the truth if he fell over it and broke his ankle.
Well, if you doubt him, ask Bet Lynch.
I already have.
And?
She knows naught about no scent spray.
She's flaming well lying.
Yeah, well, so's Eddie Yates, for all I know.
Seems like your famous all-world charm hasn't worked, Mr. Fairclough.
Don't worry, it'll ring.
It's 5 o'clock, the banks are shut.
Just because they shut the doors doesn't mean to say they shut the banks.
So if it doesn't ring tonight, he'll ring tomorrow.
Yeah, Harry will drop us a line. I mean, it is a good deal less embarrassing when you've got someone to say that's liable to upset folks. Like, I'm terribly sorry, but...
Look, just shut up, will you?
Ah, Dick. Are you always this busy?
Well, we were just going home, as a matter of fact.
You promised me some rough sort of estimate for the old job.
Yes, I did, yeah. We were going to put it in the post.
Saved your stamp.
Knock it off the bill.
I'll bet.
When can you let us know whether we got the job or not?
When I've digested this. Say, In a week or so. Good night.
I don't know about you, but I'm going home.
Hello, Fairclough and Langton. Yes, he is. Could you just hang on? Guess who?
Hello?
There we are. Hey, what do you think of them?
Very nice.
Oh, don't boil over with enthusiasm, will you? You might scald yourself. Are you going to take them up to the flat?
No.
Why not?
I've told you before, Rita, they're no interest to me, them flowers.
Oh, come on, Mavis. Flowers are flowers, whether the devil himself sent them.
It's a matter of principle.
Isn't it always when we cut his nose off to spite his face? He must feel something for you.
Yes, but it's not what he feels. What matters, is it? It's what I feel, and I've told you. After the way he treated me, I feel absolutely nothing.
Well, all I can say to you is this. Anybody that feels nothing as strongly as you do must feel something.
And if you want to draw them conclusions, that's entirely up to you.
See, I'm meeting Len at the Rovers. Get your coat on.
What for?
This is supposed to be your birthday, not your flaming funeral. I'm going to buy you a big birthday drink.
Oh, no, I couldn't, Rita, not after last night.
Mavis Riley, you are going to the Rovers if I have to drag you there with the hair of your head. You'll have to face them sometime, and the longer you leave it, the harder it'll get.
Well, I'll have to powder me nose.
Well, powder your nose. Arabian Embassy.
I'm here. Where are you? Well, hurry up. Your beer's getting cold.
You got that money from bank, didn't you? I can tell with that big daft smirk in your voice.
As good as. Turned out nice again, hasn't it?
Honest, if you fell down a lavvy, you'd come up smelling of roses.
Stick with me, darling. There aren't many of us left.
Aye, I bet you'd have been happier if they hadn't asked for cabin as security, though.
Formality, darling, just a formality.
There we are, love. 85p.
Thank you very much, my darling, and have one yourself, eh?
Oh, that's just right, love. Thanks very much. Celebrating, are we? Well,
You could say that.
do you know I'm feeling a bit like that myself tonight, actually? And whose happy and smiling faces are these, spreading light and joy down this end of the bar?
Look, tell her, will you?
Recognise anything, Hilda, love?
So what does that prove?
Eh?
Well, it doesn't prove nothing. She's not the only Aussie what wears that muck, you know. It's tuppence a bucket full, isn't it? Anywhere.
You can't win 'em all, Stanley. Still, you don't win any, do you? Hello, love.
Oh, you back then?
Large as life, twice as cheeky. Didn't take you long. No, but I'm like that with flats, aren't you? I know as soon as I walk into a place whether I could live in it or not.
Oh, you took it then?
Oh, did I, Eckers like? No, it was damp as a field and crawling with all sorts. And you know, as I stood there, thinking about my own little room, and all them things you said at dinner time about how sorry you'd be to see me go, I thought, I must be out my tiny mind. So you see, you won't be losing me after all. Oh, a pint and a gin, is it?
Right.
Yeah, right.
I'm ready.
Guess who just phoned?
Who?
Derek, from a phone box.
Oh, I don't want to speak to him, Rita. Really, I don't.
Oh, well. Suit yourself. But he says he'll ring again.
How long are you going to be, Bet, love? Oh, come on, fair dues. Hey, hurry yourself up. I've got to be at work in half an hour, you know. You don't.
Well, that's where you're wrong, Squire, because I do have to go to work.
Who are you?
Friend of Bet's. Mottram's the name. I won't be a jiff.
I've made you scrambled eggs for a change. Do you think we could have one of those electric things that you squeeze oranges with? One of the nicest things about that hotel was fresh orange juice every morning. What's wrong?
Did you know there was a bloke upstairs?
What sort of bloke?
Well, does it matter what sort? There's a bloke in our bathroom.
Well, who is it?
This is the last straw. There is a complete stranger in our bathroom.
Now, just calm down.
Well, he says he's a friend of Bet's.
Oh.
What do you mean, oh?
Well, he's not a burglar or anything.
Well, has this sort of thing happened before, then?
I'll Alf, it's none of our business.
None of our business. It's only our flipping home, that's all. Does she make a habit of this sort of thing, then?
No, she does not.
Oh, I see. You mean she doesn't do it 7 nights a week, only 6?
Look, Alf, when Bet came to livery, I told her she must use it as her own home. It is her home.
Well, exactly. It's a home, not a flip... Well, you know what I mean.
It's not as though it's disturbed us in any way. It's a used bathroom.
Well, do you not mind? Don't you object?
Of course I mind. It's not my way of going about things. You know that. But I'm not Bet. She's a free agent. She's a grown woman. Who am I to lay the law down about how she conducts her life?
You're a landlady, love. It gives you some rights, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
Look,
yeah,
love. I know it used to make a lot of sense to have Bet living here before, but you've got company now. You've got me, so you didn't put up with her or her behaviour.
No, I suppose not.
Look, what I'm trying to say is, if I was cheesed off before, I'm up to here now. This is the last straw.
But she's looking for somewhere. You know that.
Well, she's going to have to look just that bit harder, isn't she?
Well, if you want to book, you book.
For Saturday night?
Whichever night suits Mavis.
What's Mavis got to do with it?
Well, you can take her with you, can't you? I'm paying for the pair of you. I can't say fairer than that.
No,
I
really.
want to go with my husband.
Well, you can go with your husband, but I don't want to watch any amateur students.
It's a professional review.
I know what it'll be like. All clever, clever stuff. Skitting politicians. I'd rather have Mike. Yeah, I would. Hey, if you were talking about striptease, you might twist me arm.
Do you know, you sound more like Stan Ogden every day. You're beginning to look like him and all.
Thank you.
Oh, good. I was banking on finding you here.
Hey, do you have this problem at all?
Which particular one?
Your wife trying to improve your mind?
Well, in my case, there's not a lot of room for improvement. Mrs. McAllister's bathroom this morning.
Yeah, well, it was on my way. I only came in for a bit of nagging, really.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. You do Brewer Street and I'll do McAllister.
Yeah? Why?
Rita, will you tell him to do Brewer Street? Tarrett's got a flaming warehouse up there. Play your cards right, Len might bring you back a couple of gash saris. Just sure seen that, you know, see-through saris. Very nice.
Hey, what's going on?
Mrs. McAllister's lad's only been round to our house, hasn't he? Asking me to do it. He says he knows it's a load of cobblers himself, but she is getting on a bit and they have to humour her. She thinks you're going to get raving drunk on the job.
Does she?
Yeah, I warned you what had happened, didn't I? You do Brewer Street and I'll do McAllister, right?
Right.
It's a good job we're in with a chance with this hotel job, isn't it?
We're in with more than a chance. Hey, this show you're trying to drag me to, has it got any jokes in it?
It's supposed to be very funny, according to papers.
All right, go ahead then, book. I could do with a few laughs.
Right. Try. Oh, yeah, I'm paying for your nose, aren't I, for that one mistake, that one unthinking moment.
That's usually the case, isn't it?
I don't know what he'll do if he gets sent to jug, on top of everything else.
You could always volunteer to go in his place.
I would if they'd let me. Hey, put a kettle on it.
All right, it'll be all right, you'll see.
Yeah. Cabin. Oh, Derek. You again. Yes, you did tell me, love, but I clean forgot. Mavis, yes, she's just stepped out for a minute, love, while my back was turned. Yeah, she does that, doesn't she? Yes, I'll tell her. Yeah, don't worry, I will. Try, love. Well, well, kept his promise. He says he'll ring again.
Can phone as many times as he likes.
No skin off your nose?
No. Did he say what he wanted?
No.
Oh, he's got a cheek, hasn't he? Phoning up out of the blue, just like that.
Yeah.
Well, if he phones again, will you tell him I've emigrated?
He won't phone again, love.
Why?
Because he's coming round. And being as this is a public shop, there is no way I can stop him walking through that door. Mavis, please, no four-letter words. I'll get enough of them on Saturday night off my husband if this show's no good.
Why couldn't you pour in sandwiches for a change?
Oh, corned beef, bit of tongue.
Oh, yeah, very imaginative.
Oh, sorry, I've clean run out of caviar. What's the occasion, anyway?
We're having a picnic. On the in-raised dinner hour, you know.
Oh, smoked salmon, champagne in the back of a rolls. Just like they do at Ascot, you know, followed by strawberries and cream.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, give over. Do you know, most of them have cheese and pickles and a bag of crisps just like us.
Anyway, I think the royal enclosure would be wasted on our trade. She's much happier at part tormenting ducks.
Do you mean?
Oh, look, can I just have a word?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, it's all right. I can take a hint. I'm too young for the subject you two are going to discuss anyway.
Carlo. Alf tells me I had a fella staying last night.
That's right, Cliff. You met him once, big fella. He has his own lorry.
Alf wasn't very keen, to say the least.
What on? Cliff. Oh, well, I don't think he'd be very keen on Alf. He's not his type.
No, I mean, Alf didn't really like him staying the night here.
Reen, you're not suggesting how funny we're going on, are you?
No, I'm just saying...
Now, look, he always stops in the same digs when he's in this part of the world. He has done for years. And just this week, his landlady was rushed into hospital with her appendix. Well, he didn't find out till last minute. So I said to him, Chuck, you can have my spare bed with pleasure. Reenie and Alf won't mind. The kindness itself. In fact, if they knew you were stranded, they'd insist. I didn't want to go waking you up in middle at night, did I? Do you know, you were that grateful. He said it's true what they say about northern hospitality. See, he's from Dagenham himself. There's no one here as friendly down south. Makes me thankful if I do.
You can't blame Rena and Alf for wanting to be on their own, but it is quite obvious that Bet doesn't intend to budge.
You can't blame her either. I mean, it's cheap and convenient. She has been pushed around from pillar to post this last couple of years.
I got your skirt and your beige suit, Mrs. Walker, but your coat won't be ready till tomorrow, so here's your ticket back.
Thank you very much. I'm very grateful. Drop them anywhere, will you?
Have a nice night last night with Mighty Mouse, did you?
I did, and his name's Cliff.
Yeah, he's built like one too. Now, what chance have us little fellas got? I mean, I wasn't invited in for an all-night cup of cocoa, was I?
Well, you would be, sweetie, but you see, I know cocoa's not your tipple, and I've run right out of arsenic.
She didn't take that man back home with her last night, did she?
Seems like it, doesn't it?
Well, Rena may have put up with that sort of thing, but I can't see Alf doing it.
She's a fool to herself sometimes, is Bet.
Precisely. And it is a very common complaint.
Well, if you've had an argument, I know for a fact Rena's very partial to chocolate cherry liqueurs.
Yeah, well, it's not so much an argument. It's more,
Friction? Bump in life's road?
it's Bet.
Ah.
Yeah. I'll take 'em, love.
Digging her sharp little heels in, is she?
Yeah. You know, Rena's problem is she's too loyal.
Well, it's one of the qualities you married her for, isn't it?
It's a tricky situation all round, ain't it?
Well, it's certainly a variation on the eternal triangle.
Oh, there's no triangle. Anyway, I suppose we'll sort things out. Oh, I shouldn't have said out, really, you know, so I'd be grateful if you...
Oh, our lips are sealed. It's like a confessional in here.
Oh, right.
See ya.
Bye.
So.
Jimmy, it beats me how Bet can have the nerve to stay on somewhere where she's obviously not wanted.
Well, not everybody's shrinking little violets like you and me, eh? And there's nobody tougher than Bet when she wants to be. Eh? Well, maybe. Hey, it's Derek come to look at you.
Yes.
I did say I would. On phone.
Yes, he did. He did. Man of his word.
It's not been my experience.
I just wondered if I could have a word with you. That's if you're not too busy.
Of course we're not, are we, Mavis? And anyway, I'm going. Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. Anybody wants me, I'll be through there making a pig of myself on cottage cheese.
You don't have to go, Rita. Derek and I have nothing to say to each other.
I think we do, Mavis. Well, that is, I have something to say to you.
Well, I have absolutely nothing to say to you. I'm sorry.
Please, Mavis.
Look, is it all right if I take my lunch now, Rita?
Yeah, it's as good a time as any.
Well, we can have lunch together.
Well, I'm afraid I have a prior engagement.
Has she got a prior engagement?
It's the first I've heard of it. I'm not doing anything, though.
No, isn't this better than sitting in that stuffy pub?
No.
Of course it is.
I'm only kidding. I like eating out.
It's done wonders for your daughter's appetite anyway. She's eating twice as much as she does at home.
Go, sweetheart. Go on, Tracy. You're watching Daddy feed quack quacks. Are you looking?
Ducks, love. I don't want to talk in baby talk.
What did Ducky say?
Tracy, feed the ducks. Tracy, feed the ducks.
You got any more of the apple pie?
Oh, yeah, if you don't mind it a bit squash.
No, I don't. Come on, sweetheart. Now, come on, you come and feed up with Daddy. Come on. Come on. Down to the water to feed the quack, 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 quack. Hey, I'll tell you what. We'll get a proper picnic basket this summer, eh? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. If we're going to use it, it'd be worth it.
Ah, yeah, of course we'll use it. We'll go down to Seaside. Tracy would love putting sand in sandwags. Come on. What did
You feed it.
Did he say quack, quack,
Tracy
quack,
feed
quack,
it,
quack?
Oh, well, there's no need to buy me presents.
Well, I felt lousy when I went out this morning. I hate atmosphere between us two.
Yeah, I know, but is it all that important for us to get so upset about?
Well, yes, I think it is. I mean, don't you want to have this place to ourselves?
Of course I do, but Bet's a good friend. I can't just throw her out on the street.
Well, nobody's asking. There's never been any question of that, love. She's got to find somewhere else. Don't tell me she's looking either, because I've heard that one before. She's having both of us for a pair of mugs.
Yeah, well, I'll speak to her about it.
I thought you were going to speak to her this morning.
Yeah, well, I did.
And?
Well, she said that he was stranded and that the woman that he usually stays with couldn't put him up for some reason or other, so the least she could do was to offer him her spare bed.
Really?
She said that he was grateful.
I bet it was, eh?
To us for letting him stop.
But we didn't know, did we? We'd no alternative.
Well, she said she got back late and she didn't want to waken us up.
Has she ever asked you before?
No.
No.
Oh, Alf, you make it sound like it happened every day. It was different before. I was prepared to
What? Turn a blind eye?
be a bit more tolerant.
Look, I'm not old-fashioned, love, but this is our home, and there are limits. Oh, I've got to pick Len up. I've got a meeting at 2:30. I'll have to rush me dinner.
Where are you picking him up?
You're at Rovers. Don't worry. I won't say anything to her. I'll leave it to you. Look, we can't keep on going round in circles.
No, I know, love.
Hey, Mike, I've been meaning to ask you. Have you heard from Elsie lately?
Yeah, she rang, what, 2 or 3 days ago? According to her, she's quite happy with her daughter in Brum.
According to her?
Yeah, that's if she is in Brum.
You don't reckon she is?
Anyone's guess, isn't it? You know the state she was in when she left.
How did she sound?
Fine.
Well, didn't he ask her what she's doing, working, coming back home or what?
Well, you don't get a hell of a lot of questions for 10p's worth. The pips went, she rung off.
Well, next time she rings, ask her to give me a buzz, will you?
Yeah, sure, cool.
It's just that I've got...
Yeah, well...
Hey, Betty, look what the wind's blown in.
Oh, well...
Hello, Derek, love. We've not seen you around these parts for a bit.
No, I've not been in the area much.
No. Well, if you're looking for Mavis, I'm afraid she's already been in and staggered home drunk.
No, not really. Can I have a lager, please?
Certainly you can, love.
Yes, it does.
Hey, what's he doing in here?
Well, I thought he were looking for Mavis, but he reckons not.
Well, it's all off between them, isn't it?
It'll never be off. Them two will still be dithering when they're drawing their old age pension.
Hey, here's your landlord.
So?
What's so nothing? I just thought you wanted to have a talk to you.
Well, he's very welcome. You know me, Betty. I'm not proud. I'll speak to anybody.
Now, Bet, watch it, lovey.
Betty, I've managed my own life this far. I'll manage a bit farther, all right?
Yeah.
But when
You're right, then. Only it's gone 2 o'clock.
I'm not with you, mate.
Ways and Means Committee. You know, 2:30. I thought we'd go together, save you taking the van.
No, you go on, mate. I'll give her a slip.
Well, you slipped it last time and all.
And I'm going to miss the next one, I know. Look, they've booted me off the council, haven't they? What the hell should I do, attending their flaming meeting?
Look, mate, until the next elections, next month, you are still the representative for this ward.
That ward will look after itself.
Look, I don't want to start anything.
Well, I'll second that.
I've got enough anger in other directions.
All right, so leave it, eh?
All I want to say is, are you sure you're doing the right thing?
No, I'm not. So do us a favour, will you? Just leave it.
Is that definite?
Just run along, eh?
Well, what will I tell her?
I don't know what the hell you tell him any damn thing you like.
Oh,
She's not coming in, you know, love.
no. Didn't think she was. She can be very firm when she wants to be, can't she, Mavis?
Well, she has got cause.
Yes. I did rather let her down over the house, didn't I?
Well, Mavis doesn't trust people easily. In how reserved she is. And she did look on you as one of her real friends, somebody she could really rely on.
I was hoping she might have forgiven me.
Don't look like she has, does it?
No.
Look, I'll have a word with her.
Will you, Rita? Will you really? Only I do need to see her, you see. It is important.
Can you be near at tea time?
Yes, I can be.
Well, I can't promise anything, mind.
I'd be grateful for anything you can do.
Just half a pound of cheddar, please. I used the last scrap up making sandwiches. Completely forgot. I promised him macaroni cheese rest.
How did the picnic go?
Oh, lovely. It's like being out in the country in a field full of buttercups.
With your eyes shut?
Yes, how did you guess? No, it was very nice, actually. Our Tracy's little cheeks are bright pink, bless her.
Alf and I should get out a little bit more, you know, now the weather's getting better. Hello, love. Hello. I was just saying to Deirdre, we should get out and about a little bit more. Now it's nearly May.
Oh, aye, well, we shall.
You want to take him down to Duck Pond, get him broken in. It's all right.
It's all right, love. Good meeting?
Yeah, not bad. I think Glenn's decided to jack it in.
He can't do that till the election.
No. Well, he shouldn't, but I think he's feeling a bit bitter.
I suppose he has his reasons.
Aye.
I'm not saying you could have done any more.
Oh, no, no. I'm going to miss him, you know. We fought some good battles, him and me, in that council chamber. And won.
Hey, he wants the back of his legs slapping.
Aye.
Hello. Is Bet in?
No, I'm sorry, she's not.
Oh, well, can I just go up and wait up in her?
No, you can't, mate.
All right, Squire. There's no need to blow a gasket. Tell her I'll see her tonight, will you? Be good.
Can I go up and flipping wait? Now, she must have told him he could. When are you going to speak to her?
She didn't come back this afternoon, honest.
She's maybe staying away on purpose.
I'll speak to her tonight, definitely.
Rita, I told you I don't want to discuss it any further, if you don't mind. Now, can we change the subject?
Was it only this morning that somebody whose name I can't quite recall was telling me that you've got to be more tolerant in this world? What was it? Try and see the other's point of view.
Yes, well, that's different.
Oh, I see. If you're telling me that's okay, if I'm telling you that's different.
Look, I've told you I don't want to discuss Derek, and that's that. Now, if you can't think of anything else to talk about, can we just stay silent?
I'll join a nunnery if you like.
Oh, please don't be flippant. One way and another, it's been a very upsetting day.
I see. Well, I promise to keep my trap shut till 6 o'clock at least if you promise to come to Rover's and have a drink with me.
I told you, Rita, I don't feel like it. Not tonight.
That's just when you should go when you don't feel like it. Treble snowball, on me, packet of nuts.
I'll have one lemonade shandy and then I'm coming straight back to have an early night.
Aye, you're a hard woman to bargain with, Riley.
Yes,
Large scotch, please.
Right.
Is Bet in tonight?
Oh, she's round the back, love. She'll be with you in a minute.
Oh, glad to hear it.
Isn't that the man that Bet left with last night?
Yeah, it is.
Bit of a rough diamond. That's being flattering.
Not bad looking, though, is it?
Perhaps. It's the type that soon runs to seed, you know.
Do they?
It's the wiry ones who last.
Really? That friend of yours there, love. Give him that.
So there is. They can't keep away from me, can they? Still, that's the story of my life, Mrs. Walker.
I don't know where she gets the stamina from.
You said that a little regretfully, Mrs. Walker.
They wouldn't let you go and wait.
Refused point blank. Well, he did.
Well, wait, well, I see him. You were a guest of mine.
I don't think he liked meeting me in the bathroom this morning.
Well, that's his problem.
Well, not for much longer.
I thought you were back in your digs tonight.
Did I say that?
Yes.
Well, I'm a liar then.
Oh, don't you start.
Rita, I didn't know we were going to be in.
Oh, Mavis, Rita, what a nice surprise. Can I buy you a drink?
Yeah, I'll have a vodka and lime, seeing as my keeper's not here.
Mavis?
No, thank you. Of course you knew he was going to be in. I did. Inveigling me to come in here on the pretext
I
of
didn't
buying...
inveigle you. I invited you, and you accepted.
Yes, well, he didn't tell me that other persons were going to be present. It is a flipping pub.
Mavis, please. I did happen to mention to Rita that I'd be in here tonight. I want to talk to you, you see. But if you don't like it here, we can go somewhere else. I mean, anywhere at all. Do you fancy a Chinese meal? Well, Indian, Italian?
No, thank you.
Mavis, please. It is important. I need to talk to you.
Yes, well, we don't all get what we need in this life, do we, Derek? Some of us have to learn to put up with disappointment.
Where are you going?
I don't think that's any business of yours, Derek.
Well, Mavis, at least sleep on it. Think about seeing me tomorrow, will you? Please.
Possibly. Possibly not. Like you say, I shall have to consider it. Good night, Rita. I'll see you in the morning.
Well, I did say I couldn't promise anything, didn't I? It's a case of Bruce and the spider, isn't it? If at first you don't succeed. Oh, come on, I'll buy you a drink. Excuse me a second. Here comes the bride. My, what are you doing out on your own? Marriage falling already, is it?
I haven't come for a drink. I've just come to warn you that Alf's after your blood. Because of him.
Well, I'm after Alf's blood. Because of him.
Eh?
He'd no business sending Cliff away. He's a friend of mine.
You weren't in.
No, but I might have been coming in, mightn't I?
You can't expect Alf to let a complete stranger in just to wander about.
Like I say, he's a friend.
Don't be ridiculous, Bet.
Oh, I'm ridiculous now, am I?
Yes.
It's funny, we never had this trouble before you got wed.
Yes, well, it was different now, isn't it?
Now Alf's laying down the law.
Look, Alf's my husband. Heaven knows I've tried to keep the peace, but if you make me come down on somebody's side, it's got to be his.
He really has got you under his thumb, hasn't he?
No, he hasn't. I happen to agree with him, that's all. After all, Betty, it is our house. We are entitled to a say in what goes on there.
Not in my room, you're not. I pay my own rent, I mind my own business. I'm entitled to do as I please.
Well, that's just where you're wrong.
What do you mean?
Well, nothing.
Come on, Rain, spit it out.
You don't pay your own rent. Well, not all of it, anyway.
Hey, of course I do.
No. You're subsidised. £2 of your rent is paid by somebody else.
Oh, yeah. So who's my Father Christmas, then?
Who do you think, Bet?
Do you want a cup of tea, Reen?
No, thanks. I've been having breakfast long since.
Well, if there is one, if you fancy one. Is there any marmalade?
They've got marmalade.
It's empty. That's the trouble with them little pots. They're very posh, but they don't hold much.
It's the proper way. You'll just have to get used to it.
It's Alf, isn't it? He likes everything proper, I've noticed.
It's me, as a matter of fact. I'm just trying to add a little bit of tone around here.
By heck. Between you and Annie Walker, we'll have more tone than Thally Orchestra. Where is that marmalade?
Yeah.
So... Oh, talking about Alf, does he know?
No, he doesn't.
No, I didn't think he did. I don't think he'd like it if he did. He wouldn't reckon it were proper.
Anything else, love? Now, Alf doesn't know, and I'd be very glad if
Say no more.
I know I shouldn't have said anything at all. But quite frankly, I'm very glad it did all come out.
Well, I think it's hysterical, I do.
Well, I don't. I should never have accepted that arrangement in first place.
Well, it is £2 a week, Chuck.
Yes, I know, but it can't go on.
I see you've been looking out flats for me.
Yeah, Alf did look through.
Oh, Alf. Very helpful.
Now, look. Are you going to see Mike Baldwin or what?
Well, what am I going to say to him? I mean, I'm at a loss to know.
Well, he'll have to sort it out.
Why will I have to sort it out? I had naught to do with it in the first place. It's naught to do with me.
It's £2 a week of your rent he's paying.
Oh, well, you see, I don't look at it like that.
But it is like that, whichever way you look at it.
No. It's £2 a week he's been giving you for taking me off his hands. That's between you and him.
You wouldn't pay the £8.
No, I pay £6. £6 a week, that's my rent. Now, if he's been giving you out else, that's just so he could get me out of that house and flog it.
Yeah, well, that's as maybe.
No, that's not as maybe. That's the way it is.
But, Bet, it's very embarrassing for me, you know, going in the Rovers and you always having your little goes at him. You always are doing.
Am I? I very nearly went over there and gave him a right mouthful. I mean, it's cheap at half the price, isn't it? £2 a week. Put an old horse out to grass. Have a go at him. You've seen now.
Bet, I hope you're not going to carry on.
I am not going to carry on, Noel. I've decided. If he wants to pay £2 a week of my rent, then he can carry on. As far as I'm concerned, you've told me naught.
You can't just...
I can just. Too right I can. The only pity is, I can't see him extending the arrangement to anywhere else. Still, do you reckon that might be worth £2 a week to Alf?
Well, you walked out last night.
I did not walk out.
Walk? You swept.
Morning, girls. I'll have a cup of tea and a bacon butty with lots of sauce on. Oh, and I'll have a read of this while I'm waiting. Don't worry, I'll bring it back.
I merely left, that's all, because I had no further wish to stay.
Yes, and it was obvious you'd no wish to stay from the way you walked out, Mavis.
Right then, I'm not very good at hiding my feelings, but I didn't want to stay right from the start. In fact, I didn't want to go to the Rovers, really. But it was your idea, wasn't it? And you knew I didn't want to see Derek at all.
But he obviously wanted to talk to you.
Well, I have no interest. And you ought to know that better than anyone. It was you that told me I ought to have nothing more to do with him. Oh, don't you remember that?
Yes, I do remember, Mavis. I remember very clearly. But that was when it looked as if he had walked out never to come back. And my advice to you was to sweep him out of your life entirely.
That was your advice.
When it looked as if he'd walked out never to be seen again. I mean, circumstances alter, and so does advice. And my advice to you, lady, is you are 40 to be brutal.
Oh, so I've just to put up with anything?
I didn't say that, but you got to choose where choice is.
Excuse me. Did any of that sink in about the bacon butty and the cup of tea?
Don't be so rotten cheeky, and you're not paid with that paper either.
Stick it on the account.
I know where I ought to stick it.
I'll go and do his bacon. But if while I'm gone, Derek should phone or crawl through that door, would you please tell him for his own sake that I have no further interest?
I shall tell him he's got you all worked up.
Don't you tell him any such thing, don't you dare.
I wish I had an interest in love life. In fact, I wish I had any sort of love life.
But it would be much better from your point of view. You would have your own privacy, wouldn't you?
I'm not that bothered about my privacy.
Some people are.
Oh, I know.
It's nothing personal. Don't get that idea. But Alf was very embarrassed, you know, bumping into that fella yesterday morning.
It has got through to me.
You do see his point, don't you?
Well, I'm going to Luke, aren't I? I can't do any more. Good flats aren't that easy to find. Not ones I can afford, anyway.
I'm not saying take the first one you see, but, you know, you have to pay for something nice.
Out of curiosity, how does Baldwin pay you? Weekly? Monthly? Use onces?
Stand in order.
Stand in order. My God, I never knew my life was that organised. Hiya.
Hiya.
Oh, seeing you reminds me. Did you know the sink in the bathroom were blocked?
Oh, don't tell me. It has been going slow.
Well, it's not going at all now. If I were you, I'd talk to him nicely. Tra.
Tra.
I haven't got the time. I haven't got the tools. You need special gear. It's gone metric. I'm under the doctor. I'm not...
But you will come and look at it for me, won't you?
Do you have the same trouble with Len?
Oh, are you joking? Every little job.
Oh, I know, Ray's just the same. I can't get him to do nothing. Do you know we had a bit gone on roof when we lived at my mum's? You know, just a patch at the ceiling where it were coming through. So, does he fix it? Goes out in the street, has a look at it, comes back, tells me all about it. You know, the thingy, what's it's gone and how easy it'll be to fix. So does he fix it? Two months. Eventually, I had to get chap next door to put a ladder up. I shamed him into doing it.
And they say, aren't we lucky being married to builders?
Oh.
Hello, Derek.
Is Mavis...
No, love. She's just slipped out.
Oh, only I was just going past, you know.
Well, I'm sorry.
Yes, I've got to get down to Stoke, you see. Well, Stoke area, anyway, you know, round that region. And then I'm over to Sheffield, so, well, could be a bit of a while before I...
Oh, what a shame.
Anyway, I just wondered, you know, if I could have a word.
Well, I'm sorry.
Well, if you could tell her that, anyway.
I'll tell her you called.
Oh, look. I could adjust my schedule. I'm sorry, I'm not holding you up, am I?
No.
No, I'm sorry. I'll adjust my schedule. So I'll be in the Rovers for a quick bite of lunch before I go. So, could you...
Oh, I'll pass that message on. You've adjusted your schedule and you'll be in the Rovers.
If you would. I'm sorry. Just tell her that anyway, would
I
you?
will, yes.
Thanks.
Hey, Rita, what's going on? I can hear Mavis in the kitchen.
Mavis!
Yes, I know, I heard.
So you heard my terrible fib?
Well, that's not what I told you to say. It would be better to let him know.
Oh, Mavis, and he's adjusted his schedule.
Let him.
Oh, the Iron Maiden.
Oh.
Well, if the sink's blocked up with long blonde hairs, we'll know who's to blame.
5-minute job this ought to be.
But water has gone out.
Yeah. Only as far as bucket. Trap's clear, you see, trouble's down pipe.
Put your coffee on there.
Oh, what time is it? Must be nearly dinner time.
It's 11:30.
Oh, well then.
Oh, you're not leaving with it bucket, are you?
Better than now.
Oh, hey.
Oh, we'll be round later on with a rod light. You can empty it bucket down to have. If I can't make it, send Alf and I'll lend it tackle.
Oh, I love that. Especially if it is long blonde hairs.
Well, it could be, you know. Peroxide happen.
Oh, don't. Anyway, if you can't finish it today, how about tomorrow?
Tomorrow? No chance. I'm covering for Len, usual story.
Why, is he not well?
He's in court.
Oh, yeah. It's that what's it business, isn't it?
Yeah, that what's it over your wedding.
He feels terrible about it, does Alfie? Really does.
Well, Len's a little bit less than chuffed about it himself. Mind you, you can see his point. He had a couple of drinks, like.
More than a couple, by all accounts.
All the same, it was only Rita cracking on she didn't know him. I mean, that's why they took him in. That's the start and finish of it.
What do you think you'll get, do you reckon?
Oh, pleading guilty, being an out for a naughty boy and a few quid, say 50.
Hey, as much as that?
Yeah, and then there's what'll cost him hanging about all day. I mean, you know what they're like.
Well, I don't, as a matter of fact, no.
Well, I do. They call everybody for 10 o'clock and then they just keep you waiting around. It can go all day.
But he is pleading guilty.
What choice has he got?
Yes.
Good day.
You're Rita on strike then, is she?
No, she's too busy looking after the cabin.
I shouldn't say it, you know, but you can get your dinner at the cabin cheaper than you can here, you know.
We don't serve dinners like I drink.
Why don't you put in for a licence?
I'll mention it to the magistrates tomorrow. They should look favourably on it, shouldn't they? You never know.
Keep your big mouth shut, Betty. I'll tell before I get snowed under.
Aye, top that up.
Right.
Will you be seeing any more flats this afternoon, babe?
Probably not.
Ah, then perhaps we can expect you a little earlier than usual this evening. I didn't say early, mind, but earlier.
Anything to help, Mrs. Walker?
Well, it would make up for this morning.
Well, you know how I'm fixed, Mrs. Walker, looking for a flat. I can't go round of a night time like a burglar. I've only got the mornings.
And you would have more if you got up earlier. Some people waiting to be served.
Hello, Alf. Right, girls, what you having?
Mate.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, well, I know things are a bit awkward between us, but, well, I can understand.
Alf, just belt up, will you? Have a drink.
No, what I want to say is, tomorrow in court, look, if you want anybody to stand up for you, you know, well, I'm very willing. You know, character witness, anything like that.
What would you say, Alf? Would you tell them that I'm not fit to be on the council?
I hoped you wouldn't be like that. Anyway, I didn't say that, did I?
Nah, it doesn't matter now anyway. Thanks for the offer.
No, I mean it. I'd like to help. I've been waiting for you to ask me.
I'm doing it without anybody's help, thank you.
You only want to see sense, get some help. Look, go in there, all apologetic, plead guilty, good character witness, you get off with nothing.
Oh, no, just a conviction for drunk and disorderly, that's all.
Yeah, well, there's no way around that, is there?
Not if you plead guilty, there isn't, no.
Hey, Alan, I'm not with you. You're not pleading guilty.
Well, I wasn't drunk and disorderly, so I'm not guilty.
Well, I just hope you've got somebody good appearing for you.
The best.
Who's that?
I've just got Len Fairclough himself.
They'll slaughter you.
Rita's only got to stand up there and tell the truth.
Oh, mate, they'll have a prosecuting solicitor who spent half his life eating witnesses like her.
She's only got to tell the truth.
Len, it doesn't matter. Cross-examine her. He'll tear her in pieces. He'll take whatever she says, turn it round and turn you into Jack the Ripper. He will. He's been doing it all his life. Have you? No, mate, if you're going to plead not guilty...
I am.
Right. Well, you need a lawyer. I don't know where you'll get one at this late hour, though. 24 hours, that's not much time. Betty?
Yeah?
Can I have a pint, love, please?
Sure, lovey.
You deserve 5 years for being pig-headed.
Give us a packet of those little cigars I have, love, will you?
Been to Rovers lately?
What do you mean? I'm always in there.
Oh, I meant at dinner time.
No, why?
Just thought you might have been back, that's all.
Well, if it's a message you want passing, I suppose I'll be tripping over the doormat.
No, it's all right.
You sure?
Well, it's not really a message, you know.
Oh, right then.
Mike, can I have a word with you?
I'm here, aren't I?
Can I just come through a minute?
Well, what's it all about?
Well, it's about the arrangement.
Oh, yeah, sure.
I'm afraid it's all come out. It's my fault. I'm sorry, but I didn't want it to, but I just said it.
She knows?
She knows.
Well, I suppose she was bound to find out sooner or later.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, what happened then? Did you have a good laugh or did you hit the roof?
Bit of both, really. She wasn't exactly grateful for anything.
Yeah.
Anyway, seeing that she knew, I thought I'd better tell you, so...
Yes. Well, what's going to happen then? I mean, she's going to stay here?
She's supposed to be looking for somewhere.
Well, that's all right then.
Oh, no, it's not. It's all my fault.
Look, don't worry.
Well, we'll try and get him, because I know he's very good. He's done a lot of work for the union, you know. He's always very busy. I don't know whether you get him for tomorrow. Look, could you ask for an adjournment? That might be a best bet. Oh, hello.
Hi, Al.
Something wrong?
No, I was just talking to Rini about, the arrangement.
What arrangement?
Well, the lodger.
I don't think I'm with you.
Ah, my turn now. Well, look, I've got to get going. See you later, fellas.
Well, yeah. Would you mind telling me what he's on about?
Yes, well, we'll talk about it later.
Am I in the way? Because I'll come back.
No, you stop there. We're going to get you a solicitor. Now, what's this about an arrangement?
Can I go and wash my hands?
Yeah, well, you know what it is.
Oh, watch out for the bucket, won't you? When you see the basin, you'll see that. Just empty it out loud.
Look, what is this about an arrangement? And what's my... what bucket?
I thought you were having your dinner out.
Have you finished with your pie, love?
Oh, yes, thank you.
Do you have another drink?
No, thanks, not at the moment.
Right, hold up.
Well, if it isn't the mighty Lord and Master himself.
Yeah, I fancy something good and long.
Can I suggest a rope and a drop to go with it?
Oh, you are good value, aren't you, Betsy? Have you got change at £2?
You'll get no change out of £2 round here, love.
Oh, well, in that case, a bit of a large scotch and perhaps a little chat.
Bet you wish you'd gone to Rovers now, don't you?
Seems to occupy your thoughts more than it does mine.
Well, I haven't had 2 words out of you since Derek come.
Well, it's very upsetting having people coming back bothering you about things that are over and done with.
Well, he's gone now, any road. And then he's over to Sheffield, so you won't be being bothered again.
I don't care where he's gone. I mean, why did he have to come back at all? That's what I want to know.
Ah, you see, you do want to know, don't you?
Oh, he's rotten and I hate him.
But you do want to know. Go on, admit it.
But why did he never tell me?
There was never any cause to tell you.
No cause. We've been harbouring a kept woman.
Oh, don't be daft.
Look, did he or did he not pay the rent?
He paid £2 of it for the convenience of getting her out of his house.
Oh, right. What besides?
Look, there's nothing going on. Well, not here anyway.
There's not going to be help going on here either. She'll have to leave.
Well, she knows that.
Yeah, we're not taking another penny off him.
All right, we're not. I thought we were doing them both a favour.
What gets me is I didn't know anything about it. What if it had got out?
How could it have got out?
Well, it could have done. And if people had known we had a woman staying here and a fella paying the rent, there's only one construction to couple on that. And if they'd seen her first thing in the morning...
Alf, there's no call for that.
Oh, isn't there? You asked that bloke that was here the other night. You know, the one that parked his lorry outside.
He didn't park it outside. He parked it under the arches.
Oh, very discreet, yeah. Anyway, better get off.
Don't I get a kiss?
I'm sorry, love. I didn't mean...
Do you remember something we said? About always telling one another how we felt?
Yes, well...
Well, I'm glad you did.
Well, you see, the whole essence of this business was discretion. But now that you know, it would be indiscreet to carry on.
Well, as long as you don't expect out for it, you can pay the whole of my rent any time you like.
Oh, I'd like to, kid. But not what you thought that I was going to make. And now that you know, that's exactly what you would think.
No, I wouldn't. No, I think it was pure charity, because I know you've got a heart of gold.
Yeah, me and the tax man. I had you down as hospitality and entertaining.
Oh, that's me, definitely.
There was a time you were.
You know, I've a good mind to throw every penny back in your face.
Oh, but you won't, though, will you?
Too right, I won't. But I will pay them the £2 a week. Then let's see them get me out.
Hello, Mavis.
Derek?
Are you not going to sit down?
Well, I'm not stopping long.
Can I buy you a drink?
No, thank you. Well?
Mavis, I'm sorry you left last night, because I did want to talk to you, as a matter of fact.
I thought you were supposed to be in Stoke.
Oh, I can fit that in later in the week. I can do that, it's flexible. One advantage of the job. Look, I wanted to explain about everything.
What a very long explanation that would be, Derek, to explain about everything.
About the house.
I don't want to talk about the house.
No. But I do admit you're right. To complain about my behaviour.
I'm not complaining about your behaviour, Derek. I'm not complaining about anything. As far as I'm concerned, it's neither here nor there anymore.
Look, I just wanted to tell you that I never meant to cause you all that trouble and pain.
Well, is that all?
Oh, I wish it wasn't so difficult.
Well, it's you that's making it difficult, Derek. You've got a habit of making things difficult, and then your mother comes along and makes them worse.
Oh, I'm a mother.
Yeah, well, I've stopped making allowances for your mother now because I don't have to anymore.
Look, I know she's made things difficult in the past.
No, Derek, it's you. You let her.
That's not fair. I mean, she is my mother.
Yes, well, why don't you just go back to your mother?
Because she's making things difficult again.
Well, does that concern me?
She's got it into her head now that I ought to be married. In fact, she's got the wife all lined up for me, too. I mean it. I am being pressured. She is definitely encouraging this lady, and it's a very embarrassing position to be. Really.
Well, it's amazing.
I know.
And aren't you very keen on this lady?
Well, no. I mean, there's a lot to be said in her favour. I don't want to say anything against her. I just don't want to be married. Well, married to her. Only between her and my mother, they've practically got it settled.
It's time you made a stand, Derek. Whether you want to marry this lady or marry anybody or do anything, I mean, it's up to you. But you've got to realise that it's nothing to do with your mother anymore.
You think I should definitely get out of it?
I don't think anything. It's not my business. It's nothing to do with me. But you've asked my advice, and that's it.
Yes. I suppose that's what I did want you to say.
Well, what did you expect me to say? I mean, what would anybody say?
Only you don't just turn to anybody, do you? I mean, you know me.
Yes, I do, Derek.
Mavis, I shouldn't be here at all. I should be at home. Well, my mother and Beryl have made these arrangements, you see. They've arranged this little party for tonight. Just family, more or less.
And are you supposed to be there?
Yes. Only I'm not going to be there.
Well, have you told them you're not going to be there?
Well, no. I was going to go, but if I did go, I could go, meaning to say everything and make it all clear before it was too late. Or I could go and end up not saying it. So I thought it best not to go.
You've got to go, Derek, and make yourself clear.
Oh, I will. But there's a lot more I want to say to you, Mavis. Look, I can't talk in here. It's impossible. Can we not go back to your flat? Can we?
Well, I'm supposed to be working, Derek.
Please.
All right. Oh, you have got yourself in a mess, haven't you?
Do you know, I timed him. He has been here 2 3/4 hours, and all he had was 2 shandies.
And a pie.
And a pie.
Just about par for the course for him.
What on earth does she see in him?
Oh,
What?
it's Beryl.
Well, your mother told me where I might find you, Derek. And is this the Miss Riley? Well?
Yes. Mavis, this is Beryl.
His fiancée.
There we are, thank you.
Still, I'm not running running away from you. I just don't think the street's the right place for an argument.
I'm not arguing, I'm just putting you in the picture. Though I've a good idea you know what that is already.
Today was the first time I even knew of your existence.
I find that very difficult to believe.
Well, ask Derek. Go on, ask him.
Well,
Yes.
Yes, what?
Yes. I have only just told Mavis I'm about you, Beryl. In the last hour, as a matter of fact.
I just don't believe you.
Well, it's true.
Hey, would somebody mind telling me what's going on here?
Why?
Because this happens to be my shop, in a manner of speaking, and you're causing a rumpus in it, aren't you?
Yeah, well, it wasn't my idea to come in here. I could easily have said what I had to say outside.
Mavis, do you mind, please?
This is Derek's
fiancé. My word, it does stick in your throat, doesn't it?
Fiancé?
Oh, no, not officially, Rita. Well, not quite officially.
What do you call this, then? A swelling on my finger?
Oh, I was meaning the party, Beryl. We haven't had the actual engagement party yet, have we?
No, it's supposed to be tonight, or had you forgotten?
Yes. I mean, no, I hadn't forgotten it was meant to be tonight.
Well, why don't you go to it, both of you? I mean, I just don't understand what you're both doing here.
Well, I know what I'm doing here. I'm after an explanation.
Who from?
Both of them.
Oh, I have no explanation to give.
Derek?
Oh, I'm just very sorry for any trouble I might have caused. Unwittingly.
I find him in the company of his ex-girlfriend on the night he should be going to his engagement party, and he says he doesn't mean to cause any trouble. Well, what am I supposed to do? Invite her to come?
You wouldn't have wanted to, would you, Mavis?
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, she's not going to be asked.
Well, I wouldn't have come if I was.
Mrs. Watson, I won't keep you a minute. I suggest if you want to continue with this cockfight, you go through to the back.
I have nothing else to say.
Well, I certainly have. Is it through there?
Yes.
Excuse me.
Hey, you can make a run for it, but mood she's in, she might set fire to the cabin.
Derek, I'm waiting.
Oh. So go on, sort her out one way or t'other. Derek, go on. She's your fiancée.
Oh.
Mavis?
I'm not going. It's nothing to do with me.
Isn't it? Don't you want to know what's really happening back there?
Not in the least bit interested.
Aren't you?
Well, she has called me some rather insulting names. Perhaps I should.
I think you should.
I will.
Good. Yes, Mrs. Watson.
Bit of a row.
You could say that, yes.
Still makes life interesting, doesn't it?
Very.
So actually, what I've come for is to wish you luck for tomorrow in court.
Thank you.
You've been having a bit of bad patch lately, haven't you?
You could say that, yeah.
Well, I do. I wish you luck.
I'll say this for you. You're a good mate, aren't you?
How do you mean?
You've got no sympathy for me at all. Oh, you're going through the motions, all right, yeah. Poor old Len, he's up to his neck in it again. Still, it's his own fault, isn't it? But I'll go round there and wish the silly twit luck.
Oh, dear. We are feeling sorry for ourselves, aren't we? Anyway, I do. I really do. I honestly wish you luck.
I know. I'm just feeling a bit low, that's all. I feel as if the whole world's ganging up on me. 10 years ago, I'd have laughed.
Yeah, you've got respectable. That's your trouble.
But I'm doing something about it again, aren't I? Again.
I'm sorry, Derek, but just standing there, opening and closing your mouth like a guppy is not telling me what you're doing here.
I don't know what I'm doing here.
Oh, so are you saying you're out of your mind, then?
I'm beginning to wonder if I am.
Why don't you stop shouting at him? Then perhaps you'll get an answer.
I was wondering when you were going to put your oar in again.
You're not giving him a chance to explain, are you?
Perhaps I shouldn't be asking him. Perhaps I should be asking you.
What do you mean by that?
When a man goes off the rails, it's usually a woman who's pushed him.
Oh, speaking from personal experience,
No,
aren't you?
I'm not.
Well, it sounded like it.
Can't bear to let him go, eh? Is that it? Can't admit defeat.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, come off it. You've been going out with him for at least 2 years, to my knowledge.
We've only been friends.
Friends, when you were thinking of buying a house together. Well, what would you have done? Lived there on alternate days? I don't think.
It was purely a business investment, wasn't it, Derek?
Yeah. yes, it was,
Well,
Mavis.
it might have been for you, but not for her. She was getting you under the same roof. Perhaps the first time she's managed that in her life.
Well, have you done any better? I mean, have you? You're no chicken, are you?
Well, I'm younger than you.
Oh, I bet you're not.
Look, I could give you 10 years.
Well, then you must be a lot older than you.
Oh, shut up!
Pardon?
I said shut up, Beryl. And you, Mavis. I mean it. I'm not going to stand here a second longer listening to you two squawking like a cat and dog.
It's partly your fault, Derek.
It's all my fault. I'm well aware of that, Mavis.
Oh, don't say you're going to explain yourself at
I
last.
said shut up, Beryl. I won't tell you again.
Who do you think you're talking to?
You?
Good for you, Derek. It's time somebody...
Don't want another word out of you either, Mavis.
Sorry.
Now listen, the position
Good
is...
evening, Hilda. How are you?
I'm not flipping deaf, you know.
Look, we'd better keep quiet unless we want our business spreading all over town.
Well, I don't especially care.
Well, I do.
I agree with Mavis.
Oh, you would, wouldn't you?
Somebody falling out back there?
No. Actually, it's a couple of nuns. All clear?
As I was saying...
Before you were interrupted.
Yes?
You two sound like a music hall act.
I won't tell you again, Beryl.
It doesn't suit you, you know, Derek. This dominant male bit. And it doesn't impress me either.
Will you please let him get on with it?
Thank you, Mavis.
That's all right, Derek.
It's unbelievable.
The reason I am here, Beryl, here with Mavis, is because I just wanted to have a little think.
Oh. And you can't think when you're with me. Is that what you say?
Well, can you blame him with your talent for talking?
I'll ignore that. I've no intention of sinking to the level of cheap jives.
I thought you already had done.
You were saying you wanted to think. What about, Derek?
Well, us, Beryl.
Why, Derek?
We have got engaged, Beryl, which presupposes that we'll get married sometime.
It does, Derek. Full marks.
I thought I'd like to have a think about it very carefully.
After the event.
What event?
But the engagement. This means we're engaged. Unless I'm mistaken, and it was somebody else who slipped it on my finger a fortnight last Sunday after evensong.
Yes, but we haven't had the actual engagement party, have we?
Oh, blast the flaming party. You seem to think that's some sort of official endorsement.
Well, in a way it is.
Anyway, the point is, you found it necessary to come to her to do your thinking.
There's no reason why I shouldn't spend a few days just getting it straight in my mind. Well, is there? Beryl.
Oh, it's me who's out of her mind. I must be. I think there was ever a... My mother said I was grasping at straws. Still, I thought, he's a nice man. Weak as water, but I can make up for that. I've enough go in me for two. Not true, though, is it, Derek? Not true. There. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
For thinking. I was too near the altar to think, so you've done me a good turn as well as yourself. I wish I had it in my heart to wish you luck, because you're gonna need it. But I can't. Because if he hadn't had you to come to, then he might just have made the best of a bad job, Madam.
Beryl.
Hey, what about t'other two?
Hey, give us a pint Betty, please, Alf. Alf, have you got a minute?
So?
Well, by this time tomorrow, we shall no doubt have been entertained, if that's the word, by the private lives of the fair club.
Quite looking forward to it myself.
Oh, you would, Mrs. Sharp.
Matter of fact, I'm thinking of going down to watch it.
To the court?
Well, the papers don't give you any flavour of it. They don't give you the black looks for a start. There'll be plenty of them looking about between them and Herbal.
Mrs. Sharples, you're a ghoul.
Well, I'm not quite sure what that is, but I'm quite sure you'd be one if you could get out of this place.
Maybe. I'd never admit it.
Ooh, you miss an awful lot of fun by trying to keep up appearances.
What are you talking about?
Are you suggesting that I've been eavesdropping, Mrs. Walker?
Yes.
Well, Len's found himself a solicitor.
You're laughing then.
Oh, I feel a bit easy, yeah. This Manders is supposed to be a good bloke, isn't he?
I've heard some very good reports about him. But on the clever side, you know. Sharp as a tack.
I wish he didn't look so flaming young.
Well, don't they all look young these days? They do to me. Not just policemen either. Solicitors, doctors. I even saw a young bookie the other day. Have you ever seen a young bookie?
Ah, it's the way they dress, isn't it? That executive look. Trendy.
I don't think it's that. I've got a theory. They're going to do away with everybody over the age of 30 to solve the unemployment problem. Be your turn of mine any day now.
Wouldn't bother me. Manders was asking if I had any witnesses.
Well, I told him he had me.
Yeah, I know, but we were a bit indecisive the last time we were talking about it, you know. I just thought...
What, I let you down again?
No.
Of course you did. Anyway, I won't.
Thanks. We'll have to get there early, though, to talk to Manders first, won't we?
Yeah, right. Do you feel confident?
No.
Oh.
Sitting here's not going to mend things, Derek. Oh, will you stop fiddling with that ring?
Oh, sorry.
But put it in your pocket or somewhere.
Sorry. Mend what things?
Well, you and Beryl to
Oh.
make it up. Well, what are you laughing at?
You know, it was like being on a runaway tram.
What was?
Getting engaged to Beryl. I had no control over it, none at all.
Oh, you must have had.
No, I was just pointed in the direction of the terminus, which in this case was my engagement, and shoved. Well, no, pushed. They weren't violent.
What do you mean, Beryl and your mother? Is that who you're talking about?
Especially Mother. Wonder why she likes Beryl so much. I'd have thought they were too much alike. Both strong women. God, how I hate strong women.
Well, they seem strong, Derek, because you're weak. I mean, she was right about that.
Yes.
Was that all you've got to say?
What else can I say? Except I'm relieved. It wouldn't have worked, you know, Mavis. It wouldn't.
Oh, why did you let yourself get involved in the first place?
Well, I told you it was none of my doing.
You were strong enough to change your mind about buying that house with me,
Yes.
but not strong enough to resist your mother and Beryl.
No.
Well, there's a conclusion to be drawn from that, Derek.
Is there? Mavis, what?
You think more about them than you do about me.
Oh, no, Mavis. No, in no way is that true. I can honestly say that of all the women I've ever known, I find you the most sympathetic.
Sympathetic?
Yes.
And how many women have you known, Derek?
Not many.
But you find me the most sympathetic.
Yes, definitely.
Catch-22, isn't that what they call it?
What's that?
Well, you don't like strong, unsympathetic women, and yet they're the only ones that can...
What?
Oh, doesn't matter. Look, Rita will be wanting to go. It's getting late.
Oh, good heavens, yes, it's gone 7. Well, what a day, eh?
What a day.
Not every day I get engaged and disengaged. I wonder if they'll still have the party. Knowing Mother, they probably will. She doesn't like to see good food wasted. Well, when will I see you again, Mavis?
Don't know, Derek.
No. Better let things cool off, eh? Wait till we're all back to normal. There's nothing like normality, Mavis. Everything ambling along as per usual. That's what I like. Well, bye, Mavis. Look after yourself. A very close call I had there, don't you think? Very close. Bye.
I take it it's all over again.
Yes. But I'm not going to cry this time.
Want to bet.
Why is everybody all dressed up?
Well, it's the Lent Haircloth show today, isn't it? Come again.
Oh, yeah, it's up in court. Of course, it's today, isn't it?
Oh, so everybody's going to go and watch him? Oh, typical.
Well, them as can.
Do you know, it's becoming a pastime round here, isn't it? I mean, what did you do for entertainment before we had shootings and drunks and private feuds? Did you knit?
It's always been like this round here, hasn't it, Betty?
Oh, I don't know, we had a bit of a lull in 1963, you know, when it snowed a lot, we couldn't get out of our houses.
Ah, but what went on inside the houses, you might ask yourself?
I wouldn't, love. Not unless you've got a strong stomach.
Right, I'm off to stand shoulder to shoulder with my husband in his hour of adversity.
There you go. What? Pretending it's all a joke, a big laugh, nothing upsets Rita. When really you're worried sick.
Oh, yes, I am, actually. For Len and for us. Why the hell was I so stupid that night? Fancy telling a copper you've never seen your husband before in your life. I must have been mad.
Another laugh?
Yeah, well, I'll watch there in future. Anyway, wish us luck.
Oh, I do, Rita, with all my heart.
And you buck up. You know, it's no help to me knowing you're wilting away back here.
Not wilting away.
Well, give us a smile. Oh, God help him.
Hello,
Oh,
I'm
Emma.
glad I've seen you. I hope everything goes all right this afternoon.
Oh, thanks.
Not the most uplifting of places, courts.
First I've been to, actually, and I hope it's my last. Ta-ra.
Bye.
Oh, Emily, will you do us a favour?
Anything.
See if you can buck her up. Because if things go badly this afternoon, I don't want to come back here and find she's done away with herself, because I want complete privacy if I cut my throat.
Ta-ra. Rather a gory sort of jest, that, wasn't it? Can I pay for my papers? Yes. You do look rather more...
Is something the matter?
You were going to say I look more miserable than usual, weren't you?
No.
Yes, you were.
Oh, well, if you are in a mood, how much is it?
£1.26.
Sorry I've no change.
Oh, that's all right. Oh, I'm sorry I bit your head off, Emily.
I could have chosen my words better, Mavis.
Subject normal, I'm afraid. Derek.
Not another misunderstanding.
Fairly cataclysmic.
Oh, dear.
You know, he's got himself engaged.
Whoever to?
Oh, some woman from home.
Oh, dear.
Yes, well, he's broken it off. Well, at least he had last night.
Well, that's hopeful, isn't it?
Oh, no.
You do have trouble with him, don't you?
Yes.
Is it worth it? Wouldn't you be better calling it a day?
Well, before you burn one boat, aren't you supposed to have another one to step into?
Well, yes, I suppose.
Well, I haven't.
You could try swimming around a little.
At my age?
I did.
Yes, well, you were lucky. Well, not...
Yeah, I was lucky, Mavis. Nobody knows it better than I do. But if you ask me, and I know you've not, I think Derek's had his chance. You know the saying, you can lead a horse to water. You can't make him drink.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Wilson drinking whiskey. And it's his third.
1 o'clock, he said, definitely.
Well, it's only just turned, Len.
If he set the time, he should stick to it.
Try and keep cool, eh?
I'm all right.
Yeah, of course you have.
Hey up. Troops are here.
We're in good time, are we?
Time to spare, Hilda.
Not only we didn't want to be late, did we, Mrs. Sharples?
Well, you didn't, for sure. Come on, let's go and take the weight off our feet.
That's the court over there. I were here only last week, you know. Muriel Fishwick were up for assaulting her husband again. Right palace of varieties that was, I can tell you. A laugh a minute. Come on, then.
All the best, then, Fairclough. I won't be laughing. Not much, Eddie Road.
The old bat.
Oh, there's a difference between her being here and Hilda.
What difference?
I'm not sure.
Well, there's no difference at all. They're both here to gloat, that's all.
Hello, Mr. Fairclough. Sorry I'm late. The Duquesne lasted longer than I thought, but we won in the end, which could be a good omen.
Can I introduce you? I think you know Alf Roberts, don't you? This is my wife, Rita, Mr. Manders.
How do you do?
Yeah, pleased to meet you again. As we haven't got much time before it all starts to happen, so I'd best have a session with you first, Mr. Fairclough. See what we can cobble up, make sure we're telling the same yarn. I mean, to say it would be daft if we weren't, wouldn't it? Right, well, there's a room over there we can use. You next, Mr. Roberts.
Right. Well, he seems to know what it's about, young or not.
I'm pleading not guilty, you know, darling.
So I believe.
Hey, that's the one, isn't it? That's her.
Woman Police Constable Rogers.
What, Derek?
Hello, Mavis.
What?
I've just come to bring you these. That's all, nothing more.
Thank you. Beautiful. Beautiful.
I'm glad you like them. And I'm glad you've accepted them.
You didn't think I'd throw them in your face, did you? I mean, I'm not...
No,
that
I
hungry.
didn't expect that. Anyway, that's all I've come for, nothing more. You might think it's a sort of peace offering. Well, it's not. Well, it is, in a way. Only in as much as it's a way of saying I'm sorry. Which I am. Very sorry for, well, being me as much as anything. Anyway, as I say, that's all I've come for, nothing more. Right. Well, I'll see you again. No doubt.
Thank you.
What I mean is, I'm not going to drop off the edge of the world. Neither are you either. Are you?
Well, I shouldn't think so.
No. Right. Well, we'll leave it at that then. Bye, Mavis.
Bye, Derek.
You're quite attractive.
Not bad.
Mr. Fairclough was subsequently charged with the offence, and in reply, he said
It's ridiculous. I'm no more drunk than you are. You after promotion or what? These are the facts of case, your worships. I now call Woman Police Constable Rogers.
Woman Police Constable Rogers.
I swear by Almighty God that the evidence I shall give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
Now, officer, would you tell the court what happened to you on Tuesday, March the 14th?
At approximately 12:30, I was on patrol duty in a police car in Viaduct Street, Weatherfield, when I saw the defendant and several other men walking towards me. They were all in high spirits, and I concluded they had been drinking. The defendant and two of the men were kicking a small cardboard box of some kind, apparently believing they were playing a game of football. The others were singing. I decided to keep them under observation.
And why?
Well, it was after midnight, and there was a possibility when they reached a residential area they might cause a disturbance.
Go on, Constable.
In fact, that's what happened. When they emerged into Coronation Street, they were still singing. I warned them to be quiet, but this time the defendant had taken out a bottle of whiskey which he dropped onto the pavement. The noise was considerable. I again warned them to be quiet, but the defendant said he was a member of the council. I wasn't particularly interested in that fact, but he kept insisting on it. He went to number 9 Coronation Street and knocked loudly on the door. After some few minutes, the door was opened by a woman in her dressing gown. The defendant said to her, "Hello, love, will you please tell this copper who I am?" The woman replied, "I've never seen you before in my life." She then closed the door. I then told the defendant I was taking him into custody.
Hey, fancy that.
Did you know she'd done that?
No.
I did.
Can you tell the court what happened in the police car when you were taking Mr. Fairclough to the police station?
He was abusive.
How?
He said he had no intention of being arrested by a bloody woman.
Anything else?
He made advances to me.
What sort of advances?
He put his hand on my knee and said, "Come on, darling, I'm sure we can sort this little lot out as man to woman like. You're not a bad-looking bird, are you, for a copper? What do you say, eh?"
These advances Mr. Fairclough made all took place in the police car on the way to the police station.
Yes, sir.
How did you cope with them?
I told the defendant to be quiet and behave himself.
Did he?
He continued to make remarks. He said, "There's something very sexy about police women. It must be the stockings."
Must be the what?
Stockings.
Oh.
Then he said, "I tell you what, Flower, I know a nice little club where a lot of bobbies go drinking after hours. Let's go and have a few jars." I told him to be quiet, and then he became abusive.
Can you be more specific?
He said, "You frosty-faced birds only get your kicks out of feeling some poor fella's collar for him."
Apart from this verbal abuse, did the defendant make any physical assault on you?
No, sir. Not apart from patting my knee, which I took as an attempt to be familiar. But he did try to leave the car.
Will you tell the court what happened?
I stopped at the traffic lights at the junction of Marsden Street and High Street when the defendant opened the door on his side and began to get out. I said, "Don't be a fool. If you run off now, you're in real trouble."
What did he do?
He closed the door again and said, "You'd love an excuse to get the Alsatians after me, wouldn't you?"
Do you reckon Rita knows about all this carry-on?
I doubt it.
She's in for a few surprises then, isn't she?
I'm sorry you got dragged here, Al. Still, it's not your wedding anniversary, is it? It's me and Len's, you know. 1 year to the day.
Oh. Well, our congratulations in order under the circumstances.
Hardly. Hey, how long do you think they'll keep us waiting?
Could be any time. Could be a couple of hours.
As long as that? Just for having one drink too many.
You told the court that Councillor Fairclough was one of several men you saw singing and kicking a cardboard box about in the street. Is that
Yes.
correct? Did Councillor Fairclough kick the box?
I'm not sure which of them actually kicked the box. I was still some distance away when that happened. But they all seemed to be kicking it.
I see. But when you spoke to these men, Councillor Fairclough told you who he was and where he lived. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
In fact, he volunteered the information, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
In fact, he lives on the very street where you were speaking to him, on Coronation Street.
That's what he told me, yes.
He then knocked on the door of the house he said was his home. Mrs. Fairclough came to the door but said she had no idea who he was. Is that a fair summary of what happened next?
It is.
And when Mrs. Fairclough denied all knowledge of her husband, you believed her?
Well, yes, I did.
I'm not blaming you for believing her, officer, but isn't that why you arrested Councillor Fairclough? Because as a result of his wife's unfortunate joke, you believed he was lying about his identity.
It was part of the reason, yes.
Only part of the reason. Are you quite sure? If Mrs. Fairclough had confirmed her husband's identity, she had said, yes, this is my husband, wouldn't that have put an end to the matter?
I'm not sure. It's impossible to say.
But it is possible to say you might not have taken Councillor Fairclough into custody.
I suppose I might not have, yes.
3 o'clock, Elizabeth, dear. Have you called time yet? Well, yes, I was just going to do. Time, please. Where on earth did that come from? Well, one of the reps brought it in, thought it was good for sales. It's an extremely bad taste, dear. It's very vulgar.
I didn't put it there, Mrs. Walker. It was Fred.
Really? I suppose it's the sort of thing that would appeal to some men, but I really can't sanction it. We've never had nude calendars and all that sort of thing in the Rovers.
She's not exactly nude, Mrs. Walker.
No, dear, but I think it's probably worse. Yeah? Now, as you know, I am not in the least puritanical. I really shall have to speak to Fred about it.
You are Leonard Fairclough, and you live at 9 Coronation Street, Weatherfield.
Yes.
And for several years you have served as a local councillor.
Yes.
And by occupation, you are a businessman in this area.
A plumbing and building business, yeah.
You've heard the prosecution's evidence. Now I'd like you to tell the court what happened in your own words.
Well, I'd spent the evening with some of my friends. A pal of mine was getting married the following morning, and we were just giving him a bit of a send-off, that's all.
You don't deny in any way that you had a few drinks that evening?
No, we'd all had a few drinks. Well, when your pal's getting married the following morning, you do, don't you?
Were you drunk?
No, no way.
What did I say?
Were any of you drunk?
Well, we'd all had a few, but we weren't making any trouble.
I see. When the police car driven by woman police constable Rogers arrived on the scene, what were you doing?
We were on the way home. I was nearly there, as a matter of fact. We were singing a bit. This panda car drove up, the policewoman got out, and she told us to keep it quiet.
Did you keep it quiet?
Well, we stopped singing, yeah.
Were you shouting or swearing or anything?
No, definitely not.
What about this whiskey bottle you were carrying? It's been suggested you threw it down and smashed it.
No. I dropped it. It was an accident. I mean, I wouldn't throw a bottle away with anything left in it.
It's all lies, this, you know. He were as drunk as a drayman's horse.
You were there when it all happened, were you?
Was I, Eccles?
Well, shut up and listen.
Constable Rogers has told the court that on the way to the police station in her car, you made advances to her.
Yes, I heard her say that, and I'd like to state now that nothing like that happened.
Did you make any improper suggestions at all to the officer?
No, definitely no. I can't remember exactly what I did say, but it was nothing like that.
And what was your mood at this time?
Well, I was annoyed. I thought I shouldn't have been arrested. I thought the whole thing was out of proportion. I said that to her. And that's all I said.
I'm not looking forward to going in that witness box, you know.
Look, stop worrying. This is the worst bit, the waiting.
Oh, I hope you're right.
I wonder if he's given his evidence yet.
Oh, when he does, I hope he doesn't lose his temper. You know what Len's like if people upset him. I reckon that's all we need. One flash of Len's temper and he's had it.
Would you call yourself a drinking man, Mr. Fairclough?
I do take a drink, yeah. Who doesn't?
That's the understatement of the year.
On this particular occasion, when you were celebrating your friend's stag night, now how much did you drink?
Oh, I can't remember. I'd had a few.
Well, what would you call a few on an evening? 5, 6, 7 pints?
I don't think it'd be as many as 7, no.
But it could have been a 5 or 6.
Well, I can't remember, really. I mean, I was drinking beer at first, and then I went off it.
And drank what?
I just had a couple of scotches then, that's all.
Oh, so after several pints of beer and a couple of scotches, you say you were not drunk?
That's right.
You must be able to carry your drink.
I can.
In fact, you were carrying it. Literally. I'm referring to the bottle of whiskey you smashed in the gutter.
I didn't smash it. It was an accident. I dropped it.
Oh, you dropped it. Was that because you were incapable of carrying it?
I was not incapable. I just dropped it, that's all. I don't go around smashing bottles. I just dropped it. It could happen to anyone, any time.
Especially if they were drunk.
How many times have I got to tell you I wasn't drunk?
Mr. Fairclough, that will be enough of that. You must give civil answers to the questions that are put to you.
Always been his trouble, that temper.
No control, you see. No control at all.
Now, on the way to the police station in the police car, you gave Police Constable Rogers a difficult time. Is that true?
No, I didn't. I never gave her no trouble at all.
Well, you made a number of improper remarks.
No, I didn't.
Are you suggesting she invented these remarks?
I'm only telling you that I didn't say anything that I shouldn't have.
Your pride was hurt, perhaps, being arrested by a woman.
No. Like I said before, I spoke to her. I didn't just sit there dumb. I made a few innocuous remarks, that's all, and she obviously took them the wrong way.
You also tried to abscond, did you not?
No.
Well, she said that while the car was drawn up at the traffic lights, you opened the door and tried to get out.
I did open the door, yes.
Oh, you admit you opened the door?
Well, the safety belt was stuck in the bottom of it. I had to open the door to free it, that's all.
You were merely concerned about the safety belt.
Yes, I was.
I suggest that you opened the door and intended to make off, and the officer had to restrain you.
If I'd have wanted to leave that car, I would have done. No woman would have stopped me if I'd have wanted to go.
Before we left the house, last thing I said to him, don't lose your temper. Hope I wasn't wasting my breath.
Well, he's not daft.
Ain't he?
Alfred Robert.
Oh, that's me.
Good luck.
Come on, it's Alfred.
It makes you wonder what it's all in aid of.
Pardon?
I was just saying, what's it all in aid of, eh? I mean, they all sit in that court arguing the toss. There's one to say this, one to say the other. And they write it all down, you know.
Yes, I suppose they have to.
I shouldn't be here at all, you know. The doctor knew I was here. He'd go mad.
Thank you, Councillor Roberts.
You're welcome.
You were a close personal friend of the defendant, are you not, Councillor Roberts?
Yes, I think you could say that.
In fact, he was best man at your marriage the day following this eventful evening.
Yes, I was best man at his wedding.
Oh, well, isn't it the groom who usually gets the worse for drink at a stag party?
Well, I suppose it is, yes. They try and give you a good send-off, don't they?
But in this case, it was the best man who'd had a drop too much to drink, wasn't it?
No, well, I mean, he was merry, but he wasn't drunk.
Were you yourself in a fit condition to judge?
Oh, yes. I was determined all along to keep myself in good condition for the wedding.
I see. Did you see the defendant smash the bottle of whiskey?
Well, he didn't drop it on purpose, you know. He was passing it to me and dropped it.
Well, why was he passing it to you?
Well, so I could have a drink.
As you walked along the streets, Councillor?
Well, he'd just proposed a toast, like.
But you and the defendant were drinking together all evening. And you were still drinking as you rolled home through the streets of the early hours of the morning?
No, it wasn't like that. You see, he had this bottle of whiskey in his pocket. Oh, by the way, it was only a half bottle.
Oh, only half a bottle. What a picture it conjures up. This journey home, this stag party, this singing, playing of football, carrying half a bottle of whiskey. It's a wonder you were not all arrested. Now, what do you say to that, Councillor?
You'd think you'd be able to get a cup of tea, you know. You'd think they'd have one of them machines. Rita Fairclough.
Yes.
And when you opened your front door, Mrs. Fairclough, you saw your husband standing there.
Yes.
Will you tell us what happened then?
Well, then, my husband just said, tell this lady who I am. He meant the policewoman.
And what did you reply?
Well, I know it sounds stupid. It was stupid. I just said I have never seen him before in my life and slammed the door on him. It was a joke.
Thank you, Mrs. Fairclough.
Oh, wait, just a moment. Wait there, please.
I shan't detain you long, Mrs. Fairclough. Now, this joke of yours, is it a joke you've played on your husband before?
No.
You go in for practical jokes, do you? It's a habit of yours.
No.
Oh. I was just wondering why you chose this particular moment for this joke.
I just did it on spur at the moment.
Try and help me understand, will you? There was a knock at the front door. You opened it, and there stood the defendant, your husband, correct?
Yes. I've already said all this.
Bear with me, please. You said to him, "I've never seen you before in my life," and closed the door on him. Did you close the door right away?
Yes.
Didn't you wait for him to laugh? You expected him to laugh, didn't you?
I never really thought.
Did you have a jolly good laugh yourself?
Well, no, not really.
A strange sort of joke. Did you see the police officer standing there with your husband? And you knew that by denying his identity might get him into difficulties?
I never thought, not for a second.
Well, your action suggests not humor, Mrs. Fairclough, but anger. Were you angry with your husband?
Yes, I suppose I was.
Why? Because he'd been drinking?
I don't mind him having a drink.
Yes, but you mind him drinking too much, perhaps. Now, you didn't say anything else apart from you'd never seen him before.
No.
You didn't ask him, why he wanted you to identify him to the officer?
No.
Well, that would have been the natural question for you to ask, don't you think?
Yes, I suppose it would.
But you didn't ask it?
No.
Wasn't it painfully obvious what it was all about? That your husband was the worse for drink?
I just don't know why I didn't ask.
Well, I'm suggesting why you didn't ask. It's because your husband was obviously drunk and you were angry.
I've told you it was supposed to be a joke.
It's obvious, isn't it? You were K-lad.
Poor woman, that chap isn't half putting her through it.
Of course, you know today's her wedding anniversary, don't you?
So it is.
Still, she knew what she were taking on when she wed him.
I've got news for you two. You're working May Day bank holiday.
Are we, heck? All the shops are shutting.
So, Mr. Baldwin wants you to do some stock taking.
He can get lost. We want a holiday like everybody else.
He's paying you time and a half, though.
I don't care if he's paying us in gold-plated milk bottle tops. We're not doing it. Tell him that and tell him if he doesn't like it, he can stick his job. Don't tell him that, Steve.
Don't worry, I won't.
Oh, it's not fair you're making us work on bank holiday.
Look, it's not me. He's the boss. I'm only telling you what he said.
But you're his assistant, Steve. You're supposed to stop him doing rotten things that make his workers unhappy. That's right. I'll go on. Talk him out of his frizz, Steve. Go on.
OK, I'll have a go.
He'll not say anything, you know. He wouldn't say pardon me for breathing to Mike Baldwin. Why are you so rotten to him? Why are you always running him down? Why do people whack their feet on a doormat?
On the one hand, here we have the evidence of this young, relatively inexperienced, but no doubt enthusiastic officer. Against that, we have the evidence of Councillor Fairclough himself. A direct clash of evidence. But Councillor Fairclough's evidence is corroborated. We have heard from Councillor Roberts that the defendant's action did not amount to disorderly conduct, and this testimony must, I submit, be treated with considerable respect. We've heard also evidence from the defendant's wife. Now, much has been made of this lady's action, this unfortunately timed joke. We have heard all sorts of speculations. But I submit that why Mrs. Fairclough acted as she did is not significant. What is significant is that this action, and this action alone, caused Woman Police Constable Rogers to arrest Councillor Fairclough. So, in fact, she was acting under a complete misapprehension. As for the allegations concerning my client's behavior in the police car, I would merely say this. Here's the case of a young officer, no doubt, concentrating her attention on the traffic in the road, simply misunderstanding a few jocular protests. I submit, your worships, that in this case it would be totally unsafe to convict.
We will retire. All rise.
I wouldn't be one of them magistrates for a ghost clock.
Oh, it wouldn't bother me. I reckon I'd be rather good at it. Not that anybody's ever going to ask me to be one. I mean, it's all wheels within wheels.
Well, it's not a decision that I'd want to take.
Oh, he's guilty, right enough. I mean, he would have sodden with drink as a fly in a beer mug. Although, mind you, he'll get away with it.
What makes you say that?
Well, judges and counsellors and all that lot. All spit in the same pot, don't they? Oh, yes, he'll get off.
Look at them two. It's not 5 minutes since they were practically calling each other liars. Now they're thick as thieves.
Yeah, but they don't care what happens to it. It's just a game to them, and I'm the shuttlecock.
I won't say it was a game exactly. It's all in the day's work, that's all.
My fella did pretty well for me, though, didn't he?
Hey, I didn't like being in that witness box, though.
Well, they gave you a very hard time. Mind you, gave me a hard time and all.
Gave everybody a hard time. That's what they're paid for.
I made it sound as if we were all staggering drunk.
Oh, and we all know you were sober as judges.
I hope they're coming back.
Hey, that was a big
All
quip.
right.
Hope it's a good sign.
Leonard Fairclough, we find you not guilty. The case is dismissed.
Thanks very much, Mr. Manders. You did me proud then.
I always thought we'd win with a good chance.
Hey, is there any point in Len putting in for his expenses, do you think?
I think things are better left as they stand.
I quite agree with you. I'm just thankful that it's all over. Come on, let's go.
What did I tell you?
Disappointed, are you?
Oh, no, of course not, no. But it's not justice. It's who you know.
No hard feelings, eh?
Yes? You haven't made any special plans for the May Day bank holiday, have you?
No, I haven't.
Oh, I'm so glad. I've decided to celebrate our first May Day holiday with something rather special.
Oh?
I'm flying to Jersey to see Billy.
Oh, that'll be nice for you.
Yes, just a flip, of course. I'll
Yeah.
come back the following day. But if the drones can take a break, well, I don't see why a worker bee like me can't, do you?
Yes, I've been trying to think of some way to mark the occasion.
Any bright ideas?
Not offhand, no.
What about a good old-fashioned Lancashire concert? Clog dancers a lot. And if you want a pianist to lead the singing, you can have me.
You're on, Mrs. Sharples.
And we could have some Lancashire grub like black puddings.
Yes, we could. Mr. Walker, would you have any objection if the Rovers has made the centre of it?
None at all, no. I'm only sorry I shall miss it. But I'm sure that Elizabeth here and Fred will be towers of strength.
We'll have to be, won't we?
Hey up.
Hello.
Has Len been in?
You'll not see him tonight, mate. He'll be keeping his head down for the next few days.
I'm not surprised. Have you seen tonight's paper? Here, listen to this. Counsellor in court on drinks charges. Alleged suggestion in police car. He put his hand on my knee, policewoman tells in court.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, real juicy stuff is this.
They've never got pictures and all.
They have, you know. There's one of Len and one of the policewoman. Nice looking bird and all.
Well, doesn't it say anything about him being proved not guilty?
No, just says at the bottom here, proceeding.
Ah, well, they come to press before it was finished. Just, hey, it's not going to do Len's reputation much good, though, is it?
You know, I think I'll go round to Len. You know, congratulate him on getting off like.
Oh, you stop here. If you've got any sense, you'll leave Len and Rita alone tonight.
He put his hand on my knee and said, "How about it?" I could murder you. If only you'd told me I wouldn't have minded so much.
How many more times? That's all baloney that she made it up, didn't she? Just to make out that I was blind, paralytic drunk.
It doesn't sound made up. It sounds like you in drink.
The magistrates didn't believe her. Why should you believe her?
You just don't see what a fool it makes me look. They'll all be talking about it. What the counsellor said to the
You
policewoman.
should have thought about that before you got me arrested. It was your larking about the gutters in this place in the first place, you know.
Can I come in? It's only me. I'm just on my way home from the hospital. The evening shift, you know. I know it's late, but I just wanted to drop in and say, well done.
What for, love?
Well, the verdict. Len being cleared.
Thank you, Emily. Thank you very much.
You must be so relieved. I expect you've both been celebrating. Yes. Well, that's the only reason I called. Sure, I'd better be off and let you get to bed. Good night.
Good night, love.
Good night. That's a good idea. Let's get to bed. Forget about the whole damn thing. You'll see it differently tomorrow.
Will I?
Of course you will.
got something to celebrate, you know. It's our wedding anniversary tomorrow.
How could I forget?
Hey, Rita, what are you doing? Rita.
Open this flaming door! They were slamming the door in my face that started all this, you know. Rita!
Well, of course, we've more drama from the street tomorrow when Elsie goes away and the mice certainly play. Next this Monday evening on Plus, it's time for the gentle touch as Seven Dials gears up for a conference. Stay with us.